Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have.
You got to watch it. You got to hit the like button.
We've got to get it up for him, guys. Come on. Everyone who's watching this
say
video
it
needs
like
to
that.
go over
Don't
there,
say it like that.
And share the video. We got to keep going.
Don't they have to get it up for me? Don't say it like that. God damn it.
It's going to be some freak mess. You know it's going to be some weird, freaky-deaky, like, he became one with Reed Richards for one day and bust a fat nut that one moment, and now.
But guys, can't we just love everything Star Wars? It's all great. Touch me, please.
Bella Downsy fingered Dora the Explorer on HBO.
Oh my God, you're not gonna let me tell the story of cutting my penis off?
I'm surprised Jurassic Park didn't eat more out of Lilo's pie.
Fuck. I use it. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic. You have to understand the glory of a good back scratcher. I don't know. I didn't know what I was missing all these years. It's fantastic. I'm tired of hurting my left arm to try and reach around. Box office.
You're doing it to yourself. I am not responsible for the degeneracy of this stream.
I want to
tickle that itch.
Tickle that itch. That makes the itch worse, though.
Wait, what? Tickle that itch?
Have you guys not heard that phrase before? That's a real phrase.
Tickle
I swear.
that itch?
Yes.
Okay, I'm writing this one down.
It means,
write that down. Tickle that itch.
It. It's not just scratching it. You're tantalizing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
You heard that, fat boy? We got to tickle our itches now.
Yeah. Tickle that Star Wars itch by doing this other franchise.
I always said scratch that itch.
Scratch that itch. Yeah.
Get that satisfaction of yeah.
You hear that, fat boy?
Tickle that itch.
Tickle that itch. He's laughing.
Damn, getting kinky on us.
Tickle that itch, fat boy.
You've been he's been back on Ball Busters. It's effective.
Oh yeah, he's been getting corrupted.
The degeneracy is here.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
This is Harlem, baby, and we doing nothing but blackity blackities. I'm like, listen, sir, can we just have a superhero show? The cops are on my back, Luke. You gotta get these blue folks up off me, dog. I'm like, bruh, how much more of this I gotta watch? Golly.
Oh man. We're gonna leave it right there.
But we're gonna put the dog. We're gonna put Crypto in. Is he gonna be a yellow lab? Is he gonna be an American bulldog like he is in the comics? No. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have James Gunn's fucking retarded, ugly ass dog as Crypto because that's my dog. Batman, Brave and the Bold. We're just gonna jump to Damian Wayne because why? Because that's James Gunn's favorite Robin, so that's what we're gonna do. We just had an old Batman, an older, almost retired Batman. Everyone's complaining we need a fresh start on Batman. What's James Gunn doing? Damian Wayne. Where in the timeline is Damian Wayne? He's at the very fucking end. You're going to skip over Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, the death of Jason Todd, Red Hood, Tim Drake. You're going to skip over Oracle. You're going to skip over Barbara Gordon getting fucking paralyzed by the Joker. We're going straight to Damian Wayne. Are we fucking insane?
But it was a space battle. It's a visually impressive object all over.
They already greenlit you to do whatever you want. They've already backed up the Brinks truck and got gold bars and naked hoes. What do we care?
Yeah, you're here to bang women.
I do not know if I am a girl anymore. I think I'm a they, them. What are you talking about?
Game over, man. It's game over.
I spent money on this book. Money. I sat
hard-earned pimping money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, them hoes had to walk the corners for many hours in order for me to acquire this book.
I've been told by lore people for this stuff for House of the Dragon for the books. Yeah, Rhaenyra, she was into dining at the Clam Slam. She was into that.
Clam Slam.
She slammed clams. She dined at the oyster bar. She was all into that.
I'd
work with Haley Atwell every day.
But
with two hands even.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Howdy, y'all. We're back. We had a break from the Super Bowl and might have had a break if I'd really wanted to shut it down a little bit more this weekend because I didn't do a lot of streaming last week. But no, we're here. We are live, ready to talk about the things we talk about here. We're short our representation, though. We don't have our black friend, Jed. What are we gonna do? Because you're not close enough. We can't get away with
I'm gonna have to fill in as best as I can. Yeah, I got my A pass. I don't have my R pass yet, so I can't really do the full representation. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best for everyone out there in the chat. Try to be the representation and be our shield against those who would call us racist.
Yeah. Well, we're in for trouble though today, aren't we?
We're always in for trouble. It is great to be back, though, because it's weird whenever we take a week off.
Isn't
I feel like there's something missing. Like there's just news that piles up, and I don't get to talk about it. So I feel unfulfilled. So I come onto these streams to tickle my itch of talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
and I hope you all tickled your itches over this Valentine's Day weekend. And the Super Bowl, if you're into that.
I'm just going to let that
I didn't watch.
Hang there for a second. Let the inappropriate degeneracy marinate.
I'm not responsible for the degeneracy of the stream.
Yeah, we got about another week of that one, and then I'm gonna about another week of that intro. Then I'm gonna switch it up again. I right now I figure I'm just gonna do it about every month, flip it around. It also because sometimes I want to give us a chance to collect new clips and see if I can cycle anything in. And we haven't done anything outrageous in a while now. Nothing that really warrants a clipping and a remembering this and that. I mean, I do take the notes on myself though. I don't rely on you guys. I have the notepad open and I jot down the timestamps and this and that. And sometimes another one that I don't see, I also catch along the way. But we never know. Anyway, but yes, we are here. You're right. It does feel weird when we don't do it. But at least last weekend, I made use of the time. I got stuff done on Saturday that I normally wouldn't, and then I did more stuff on Sunday that I normally wouldn't. So I made use of it, and then I did nothing all last week because I wanted to get healthy. I'm almost there. I have almost this bug that I have is still ever so slightly there. Like I went shopping yesterday. 4 months. 4 months. Don't sympathize until you had it for 4 months. You don't get to.
I'm getting close. I've been sick for about a month, and I also made a major life change, and it's been helping a lot this week. I've never taken vitamins in my life.
Really?
Never. The Flintstone vitamins when I was a kid, nothing like that. And we were looking it up. What could it be? A vitamin deficiency or something? So I started taking multivitamins a couple days ago, and I just feel better. I'm still a little sick, but it's progress at least. I've never taken them.
Modern day vitamin taking is so much easier than when I was a kid. First of all, Flintstones vitamins were disgusting.
When I was growing up, I was always told it was gay. Like the community vision of multivitamins are like, oh, you can't operate on your own. No, you're not good enough to raw dog life.
As good as one can be in getting what you need, we don't get everything we need in terms of vitamins and minerals, and that's what these things. So, but when I was a kid, the Flintstones vitamins, they were disgusting. They were horrible. And at the same time, because I have slight lactose intolerance, I didn't drink a lot of milk, which is why I'm about 2 inches shorter than I probably should be. But so I had to take calcium supplements, and they were these horse pills. First, it was liquid, and then they were these horse pills. They were vile. So you nowadays with the gummies, it's so
I need to do gummies.
easy.
The ones I got, I didn't realize that they were supposed to be just swallowed. They look like chewable, so I tried to chew them. They were disgusting.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh my god, they were terrible. But if you just swallow them, they're fine.
Yeah, see, I take my vitamins every day. I got my multivitamin, my gummy. I do VitaFusion. That's the brand I generally use, VitaFusion. I got my multi. Oh, actually, no, right now my multi is the Kirkland because the freaking Costco months ago stopped carrying the bulk, the general VitaFusion. I didn't want to get the for men one because I didn't like it had sprinkled sugar on it, and I hate it when they do that shit. So, but I'll have to go with that one though because the Kirkland ones are sour, so I'm just kind of through them. I'm on the second bottle, so I'm just power through it. Then I take vitamin C, just because vitamin C, if you take too much, you just piss it out, so you can't do with that.
We'll figure out what I'm deficient in. Right now, it's just multivitamins, but from the limited research, we did not consult a doctor. You should all consult a doctor before making major decisions like this, but I didn't. I think the ones that I need are B12 and magnesium.
Oh, the B. Oh, I take B every day, dude. You want to get the VitaFusion extra strength one. It's 3,000 milligrams per one. I take like one. Good for the hair, good for the skin. So I pound 3 or 4 of those in my vitamin, and then D3. I take D3 as well because D3 is good for the immune system. Good for
I don't know what any of this meant before a couple days ago.
Good stuff.
I just never cared.
So I take it, and it does well. That's why one of the reasons I think that I skated along when COVID was happening. I didn't get it for so long because I was taking a lot of D3 at the time. So, but I should take the calcium pills, but I eat so much cheese that's kind of covering myself for calcium these days. Hi, Dragon Lady. Do you take vitamins?
I've only ever taken quite recently iron water because I have very low iron levels, so I have to take iron water. So obviously the time of the month does not help matters at all. And I'm
moving on. Moving on. Yeah, we didn't even know that. Anyway,
I wasn't going to go into detail on that, but I was just going to say, I just take iron water because
that's a common one from what I've heard. Women need more iron.
I definitely do suggest people take your multivitamin. And then take this other extra stuff maybe your diet doesn't give you. You can't go, and same with B is like C. You piss it out if you take too much. There's no detrimental effect. So it's just good that way. So yeah, and also B's energy too. It gives you a little energy pump too.
That's definitely something that I need. My family has a history of chronic fatigue diseases or whatnot. So yeah, B is definitely something.
Yeah, the B12 is good stuff, and the VitaFusion one's always cherry, so it's really tasty. Listen, I swear. It's so easy. Vitamins are so easy these days. Not the pill, but the gummies makes it so easy. So easy.
There's so many things I grew up with being told that we're gay or stupid or you're ridiculous for taking that are just normal day, everyday things
healthy
for people
stuff
in the world.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure the chat takes vitamins. Howdy to the chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this particular show. Hail to the mods, Legatus, Algrim, Ruminex is there too, doing good work. Bolstering the ranks of the gatekeepers. Hail to Son of Jocks and Razal, my friend. I saw Frank in there as well. And we got a 37 member message, 31-month member message from good Sir Algrim the Strong. Excuse me. Please don't red cyst again against Jed. Red cyst? I guess that's a play on racism.
I guess, yeah.
Nice try, buddy. It was a good try. But
welcome back, Algrim. Been a while.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back, my friend. And anybody else watching, not chatting, we are happy to have you guys here. We hope you guys enjoy today's show where we're going to meander through some topics. Listen, all right, nothing major. There's nothing major happening. This is kind of just some recap. Also, because I took the week off from the regular live streaming stuff, I didn't have a lot of commentary, and also by the back half of the week, except in the Starfleet Academy, nothing much happened, and we covered that yesterday. If you haven't watched it yet, go check out here or on Jed's channel, where No Man Wants to Go reviews, where myself, Jed, Brad, and Dermy had a final time taking apart this week's Starfleet Academy episode. And Jed, I got one more thing from the Starfleet Academy, though. Would you like to see it?
Let it be stands. Let it be stands.
It's a stand. It's a stand.
Yeah.
It's a stand. No, that's not it. Where did it go? Hang on. Too many windows here.
And for those who missed last night's stream, we also did get the first numbers for the premiere 2 episodes of Starfleet Academy that we went over last night. So the ratings was part of the discussions as well, if you're interested in that.
I think I closed it. I think I have to reopen it. I don't see it here. Nope, there it is.
Adam,
Found it.
didn't you know Starfleet Academy is #1 on Paramount in Germany? So that must mean it's a worldwide success.
All right. You know what that is? That's the same shit they did with Wheel of Time. When Wheel of Time was flagging and failing all over the place, they started saying, it's #1 in this country. It's #1 in this country. That means it's doing great. No, cancel.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think Germany's representative of the wider world.
No, it's not.
That's like saying, oh, it's popular in Ohio, so it's popular in all of the U.S. That means nothing.
No, I lived for half the year. I lived in Ohio when I first went to college. I went to Denison University. No, I got no problem with Ohioans, but they call soda pop. So fuck that.
I'm one of those people who don't care about the alternates in a lot of terms, like soda or pop or pickup or truck. What bothers me is when you combine them. The people who say soda pop, those are the ones that piss me off.
Well, that's the thing. In the 50s, they said soda pop is one word. Then it got divided, and some said pop and some so. So that was the actual original connotation.
I don't like that. And soda like pickup truck. I don't like pickup truck. Call it a pickup. Call it a truck.
I can understand that one. I
grew up in a redneck territory, so everyone
Anyway,
that was a lot more relevant.
I came across this one yesterday, and I of course commented on it. But this particular stand, and you're watching, you're waist deep in TNG right now. So this guy says he loved episode 6. The kids stepped up and did what was needed. They learned there are real consequences. Aliens scarier than the Borg.
What the?
I sat on the edge of my seat. The sex scene was went a little far for my taste, but I understand the setup. 9 out of 10. This guy says he of course, look where they got the little rainbow flag. Contributor to Trek canon for 38 years. Well, son, I got you beat. I got more years on that than you do, fella.
Well, he claims to have been to the ISS. And his work hangs in the Smithsonian. Who is this fucking moron? Because anyone who has takes like this is not intelligent enough to have anything in the Smithsonian based on merit. Because these aliens, the Furies, are not better than the Borg. Can he tell us anything about them? Their backstory, what they like, what they their passions. The Borg, after the first episode, the Borg were introduced. We understood them to a strong degree. It's simple. But it's still, we know what they want. We know why they want it. We know what they are and everything like that. Of course, more things were revealed with the Queen and whatnot in First Contact. But you can't say something's better than the Borg if you know nothing about them.
Is that him standing next to Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Oh.
Right there.
You know you're a hack when you're proud of meeting Neil deGrasse.
Yeah. I'm Toronto, Detroit. Oh, well, that's a problem. We're gonna risk it.
Canadian and from Detroit, those are probably the 2 worst places you could be.
Starship and Magic, Christopher Cushman design. What about Christopher? Let's see what this guy's about. I'm a multidisciplinary designer and creative who blends imaginary typography with intelligence and purpose for the benefit of a wide variety of clients so they can successfully sell their products and ideas target audience. That's the elevator pitch, which is kind of wordy. Reality is I have much more to offer, including years of experience, illustration, graphic design. Did this guy help create stuff that we know?
All right, so I Googled him in the ISS, and there is no reference to him being connected to the ISS in any way, shape, or form.
So he lied?
And he has a fandom entry on the Star Trek Wikipedia. The Wikipedia, but the Star Trek version. He is a technical illustrator. Yep, he met Gene Roddenberry in the 70s. Watched the show back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
See, he He did some artwork for it in the 90s. Like he did a drawing of the refit Enterprise from the motion picture in the 90s.
But for used in what? I mean,
like just random material. So it looks like he draws for art
he
books
draws
and periphery
right,
merchandising.
So it's not actual.
It's not on show.
Yeah, it's not on show, or it's not used in actual promotional material. It's kind of extra side material. So this guy's a liar. This guy's a liar.
Okay, so one something he did do, a backlift Kodat Dirt, I don't know what the fuck that is, was a poster he made that was donated to the Smithsonian, but it's not on display. So the Smithsonian does own a piece of his artwork.
Yeah, so they took it and they stuck it in a back room. No one's ever seen it.
Yeah, and
so
yeah, that artwork, that motion picture thing looks like that's pretty much the only thing he did.
And he says my work hangs in the Smithsonian. No, it doesn't. Apparently, you're a liar.
Yeah, I googled him in the ISS. The only thing that comes up is this Twitter buyer. There is no evidence of him being on the International Space Station. So he's a lying idiot who's trying to hype up, hey, I stole a picture of my Star Trek fan art in the 90s, and they liked it, so they bought it from me for $12. Isn't that so amazing?
You see, here's truth. Dash flew aboard Space Shuttle Atlantis on a mission, STS-101, an ISS construction flight on May 19, 2000, returned after about 10 days. See?
Okay, so one of his artworks, a poster, went to space. So he didn't go to space. A piece of artwork was on the Atlantis.
Yeah.
Which is still cool. Just brag about reality, because that reality is still freaking cool.
I mean, but still, this is LinkedIn bullshit. I put all this stuff up here, aren't I cool? No, you didn't do any of this shit, dude.
He has a warped sense of his own importance, as if he speaks for Star Trek fans. Yes, he's been a fan since the 60s. That's great. There's not a ton of those left. But you're calling these new aliens the Furies, which are half human, half bat, vibrating cannibals. For some reason, they're cannibals. You're saying that that's scarier than the Borg?
I mean, and there it is. This is the bullshit takes on this. Scarier than the Borg? Are you kidding me? No, and it's. I mean, somebody asked this: what drugs do you take to make Starfleet Academy watchable? No drugs needed. I waited and watched it for myself, and did not join the hate pile on too. And here's the favorite excuse: it's 1,000 years in the future with lots of galactic history in between. Some we know and some we don't. Technology is way different so many good ways.
That's not an excuse for bad writing. That might be an excuse for some canon things or technological advancements. Sure, not that there's been many technological advancements. They're still using food replicators the same way. Their teleporters, I guess, are maybe a little bit better, but they still use comm badges.
Mm-hmm.
Their phasers are still physical.
They use the comm badge at all. No one's ever tapped the comm badge once in this, have
That's
they?
right. Yeah, but their comm badge are like their ID pass. We did see that in
it's portable computers, apparently.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the technology is not all that advanced, but none of that explains bad writing or outright contradictions to what came before. Like with the stuff with Cisco and the Klingons and Romulans and the Betazoids. Having the Betazoids be empaths only, with the few exceptions being capable of mind speaking with people they fuck, that's an outright contradiction that 800,000 years can't explain.
Yeah, so when you see
this is a man who wants to be part of the industry. With how much he's bragging about how I'm actually part of Star Trek. I'm so important with Star Trek. This is a man who is trying to tickle the balls of Kurtzman to get a job making more artwork for them. That's all this is.
Senpai! Notice me, senpai!
So nothing he says can be taken as fact, because he's just
that's what I
blowing
said.
Smoke up their ass.
And that was my reply. I can't take you seriously. Are you smoking crack? Because when you say, and you know you're dealing when they say, I waited and watched myself, didn't jump on the hate pile. I sort of talked about this last night when we were on stream. The people who say don't listen to these people who are reviewing it, watch it yourself. they're deathly afraid because they know they have no leg to stand on with this show. Oh, it's really good. Watch for yourself. Because nobody has watched it. As we talked about yesterday, Nielsen's proved it. Double episode drop. Couldn't break into the top 10 originals. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Aliens scarier than the Borg. And we also did a little...
I mean, the rest of it's all nonsense as well, but he made a direct comparison.
Yeah, and there's the problem. The Borg are still one of the most menacing villains in science fiction history.
Yeah, they should be in any conversation for the best.
Because here's the thing. With or without the Queen as a part of it, they're nigh unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can but they have things you could take advantage of. But here's the thing. And we learn this when you watch Voyager. There are more cubes than just, they only ever send one into the Alpha Quadrant every time. If they sent more than one, we would have a problem.
Well, because they're not dedicated to expansion. That is a goal of theirs, to help other species in the way that they see it help, and it's all warped and whatnot. But they're not trying to dominate the whole galaxy. They can, and they're going to slowly end up doing that if they're not put in check. But it's not like they're putting together war fleets constantly to invade every speck of space. So yeah, they're fascinating in that sense. And there's no depth to the Furies. They have nothing. And Chronicle comic art. You probably got autoplay because you need some intelligence in your streaming. So you sound like an idiot if you think that this is boring and that Star Trek Academy is good writing. So good luck out there. But thanks for the interactions. Much appreciated. Anyway. All right. So yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. But I wish I'd found that one. Stands in small doses can be very funny.
Oh, it's funny. Oh yeah. And here's the thing: when you go over the stands and you look at them, you select the best ones, and then you put them on display, and then because they are good representation of the garbage that's out there, the insanity. And once in a while, you get a moron who likes it and can easily point out how they're retarded. And all right, so what do we got for the rest of the show with you guys? No more Starfleet Academy. I just wanted to warm us up with that one because you want to see the full discussion last night. Go to the stream from last night where we really had fun with that one. What we're going to talk about today, though, first of all, I know it's already been a week, but we haven't talked about it yet. So we're going to not so much react to the Mandalorian Grogu trailer from the Super Bowl, but look at the fallout from it. Talk about that, and at the same time, expand into what I look as the state of Disney Star Wars. It's a joke, and much as I've always said, it's highly politicized. And in the past week, they've lifted that veil. They're not even hiding it anymore. The politicization, especially through Tony Gilroy and his Andor crap. Yes, Andor's crap. Fight me. So we're going to look at that a little bit. And then I'm going to ask a question that I stumbled across from our favorite Jeremy at Manabyte. That genius. That dude I know a lot of people are discovering him on social media now and realizing what a complete and total jackass he is. He's blocking people, though. Hasn't blocked me yet. I feel lesser. Why haven't I've been particularly antagonistic towards him. Why haven't I gotten the block yet?
I don't know of a single person who's blocked me.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over the PlayStation State of Play just because a lot of shit was announced. And granted, it's only me and Jen Dragonlane here, so we don't have Dre and we don't have Beardo, but we'll still give a general consensus on it, I think. At the same time, though, we will link to the discussion. What is going on with God of War? I think that's a good question. We got another casting announcement at the beginning of the week. I thought we'd get more before today, but we did not. And at the same time, we got some God of War gaming news out of State of Play, which is quite intriguing when you think about it. And we're going to try and see if there's any connective tissue going on here. And then if we have time and if I feel like it, I might punt it to next week. We'll see how we're doing. I got a question. Where is the culture war now in 2026? What does it look like? Where's it going? What's it becoming? Because it is not the same thing that we've been dealing with for the past 5-6 years. It is different.
Oh, but people want it to be the same.
But it's not. It's not. I mean, Jed, you and I have actively adjusted our approach to it on how we deal with it, talk about it. We've eliminated certain words from vocabulary which are not necessary anymore because they've lost meaning. And you have to look at, in my opinion, not so much they've lost their meaning. They're unnecessary because we're getting to the root of the problem. And as a tease, you know what the root of the problem is? Ideology. Ideology is the root. And you have to acknowledge what's really there, not the terms that were being used when people didn't want to talk about it. So we'll get to that if we have some time. If not, I'll punt it to next week and we'll see what we got. Anyway, so why don't we get started on the real topic? So thank you everybody for being here. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you have not done so yet. And let's get started. So Mandalorian and Grogu. Jed, you did not watch Super Bowl. You told me you didn't. But I'm sure you've seen the Mandalorian Grogu.
Oh, I couldn't have missed it. It was going viral from the mockery of it. I didn't know a single person who enjoyed it. I did see a couple stands trying to justify it, but they never even said they liked it.
Oh, our favorite Jeremy at Manabot. I spent a lot of time when I did my breakdown on Monday before I took the week off. He loved it. He thought it was brilliant. He said, "Oh, it's so brilliant to make it a beer commercial for people at the Super Bowl." Yeah, you and I both know bigger sports bros than we are right now. I used to be a sports bro, no longer. They thought it was ridiculous. Dermy went to a bar during the Super Bowl, and he said, the patron said, "What is this, toys?" That was the reaction of real normal
There
people.
are ways to make a joke out of a commercial like that. The way I would have done it is there's a famous beer commercial in Star Wars already, in the periphery of Star Wars. I don't know if you know about this one from Brazil, I believe it was.
No, I don't think so.
So there was a point where A New Hope was getting aired on terrestrial television in Brazil, and they didn't want to do commercial breaks, traditional, fade out, play the commercials, fade back in. So they filmed scenes trying to cut in product placement. So there's a scene where, Obi or Ben Kenobi gets the lightsaber for the first time, hands it to Luke, he turns it on. It's like, wow. There's a little scene that they slipped in there of him opening a cooler of beers first. And it's just a funny, cringe little thing. It's in Spanish, so you can't understand it, but it's just so jarring, and it's become a meme. It's absolutely a meme. So just use that footage and replace the beer with whatever.
See,
another
that's
type
not
of beer.
cringe. That's not cringe. It's just goofy, and it's playing on a little bit. The Mandalorian Grogu thing was cringe.
It was incredibly cringe.
And we're not going to play it. We don't need to. Everybody's seen it by now.
Just the quality of it. Let's take out that it's trying to be a beer commercial. Let's take out the voiceover. The quality of the tauntauns.
They look inbred. I called them inbred tauntauns.
They look so fake. The tauntauns from Empire look significantly better. I don't know. I don't know if you remember me telling you this on the drive-in for Empire that we did. But when Han Solo opens up the stomach of the tauntaun, it always looks like the interior of tater tots to me. So every time I see
that
rice
and noodles to me.
Really? I always think of tater tots and I get hungry.
As well.
I don't know why it was tater tots, but it was always tater tots. But yeah, the special effects were terrible.
Those were all practical. This entire commercial, directed by Jon Favreau.
And you could tell it's the volume, especially the behind the head shot of Din and Grogu. You can tell that's a volume.
But it's 95% CGI. There's not maybe what they're sitting on is real, but everything else is CGI. There's nothing real in this. So it comes off as fake, comes off as stupid, and there's
not even beer in it. If this had been a collaboration between, I don't know, Coors Light, we'll say a random one. If it was a collaboration commercial, like you see those all the time. If it was a collaboration commercial done not cringely with better quality, it could have worked. But the fact that it's riffing on beer commercials and isn't a beer commercial is already just jarring.
And here's the thing: we'll count this month. We're even halfway. We'll count because it was a week ago. Still, February, March, April, May. You're less than 4 months from your premiere date, May 22nd, and this is what you drop to get enthusiasm.
How much footage have they really released?
One trailer. One teaser trailer. They haven't really dropped anything. They've dropped a teaser trailer and a half, really.
And if it's a matter of money, Project Hail Mary did a great thing. They released a 20, 30-second clip for the Super Bowl, and the same day they released a full trailer as well to get you to watch it. And the stinger of the Super Bowl ad was, watch the full trailer online now. So there's ways to give us real content to get us excited about a movie while saving money, because the Super Bowl costs way too much money for advertisers.
They spent $10 million on that. $10 million.
Just to put it in, not even counting production costs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that production cost has to be added to the budget, which is $166 million they claim. I mean,
yeah, it's probably larger than that. This film, I'd bet 500 million break even.
Roughly,
give or take a little bit. We don't know we don't know exactly how much.
The marketing's been dog shit. They haven't spent any money on the marketing.
True, that is true.
So we might have to say maybe 50 million. We already know 10 million. They did another so I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next 2 months. What they start pushing in terms of
we'll have to see if they go crazy with the push.
Yeah, because here's the thing. As I said, this whole thing has been it was received poorly. There was no, aside from a few of the stands who coped hard, there's been no positivity. So much so that we have some reporting on this. Mandalorian Grogu Super Bowl ad was the worst performing film ad of the night. Ranked 43 engagement for ads overall, with an engagement score of 104 versus Minions, Monsters, and the highest engagement film 909 disclosure. Now, apparently, the Hoppers trailer and another shit trailer were equally as low, but
I'm not surprised Hoppers was down there.
Oh yeah, Hoppers is going to lose a lot of money.
Disclosure Day, I'm kind of curious about how that's going to turn out.
Was that Steven Spielberg one?
Yeah, this is Spielberg alien movie. It's all about UFOs and disclosing that aliens have been here the whole time and shit like that. But
I don't care.
I wonder how they measure these, because not all ads are clickable these days. Like if they're watching on YouTube Live or something like that, there's going to be a pop-up that you can click. And if it's, I don't know, whatever, Peacock was streaming it. I don't remember what service, but if it's something like that, you can click on it. But how do you count terrestrial television? Is it just, hey, they didn't change the channel during the ad?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is muddy metric.
Here's the
but it doesn't surprise me that it's at the bottom. It's just,
here's the source of it. Introducing
it could be a
AI
focus group
30. So it looks like it's some sort of algorithmic tracker, it looks like. Or interactions, social media interactions. That's what it looks like. What this is here, ad engagement platform resources. So it looks like it looks like it's legitimate, but either
I'm just
way,
curious. It's not that important. It's believable. It's just
it's a snapshot though. Just like when we talk about with Samba. It's a snapshot that gives us at least something to gauge. It's not perfect, a snapshot, but this thing fell flat. Because, Jed, what was the discussion in the week since? Nothing about the movie. How cringe it was. How dumb it was.
No one's been convinced to watch the movie. Anybody who liked the commercial was already going to watch the movie. This has not moved the needle. It might have pushed people away from it, but there's no way this added to the ticket sales.
I don't think it pushed people away. I think it's a plateau effect. It didn't do anything.
Most likely.
And what we have here, the social media engagement interaction factor, because guys like Jeremy at Manivar are saying, oh, everybody's talking about it. Jed, what do we talk about all the time? Not all good press is good press.
That is one of the biggest lies of this century, in my opinion. Of course, there's such a thing as bad press. There have been companies that have been brought to their knees and filed for bankruptcy because of bad press. Of course, there's such a thing as bad press. Even without boycotts or that stuff, cancel culture, take that out of it. There's just obviously something. It's just basic common sense. Anyone who's trying to tell you that is either trying to sell something, like spinning a story into a positive, or they're fucking idiots. So anyone who says it is a liar or a moron.
Yeah. So we know how many times we've been over this with the social media engagement interactions and all this garbage. 90% of the time, it's mostly negative, mocking, ridiculing, roasting, memeing. That's what the engagement is.
What was that engagement thing that they were pushing? I think it was with the Acolyte that was like, hey, it was trending on Twitter and stuff like that.
Parrot
so that
analytics.
Show is
Parrot analytics. Good old parrot analytics.
That, of course, doesn't translate into money.
Yeah.
And that's what these studios care about. Hate on parrot analytics doesn't help you in the slightest.
Mhm.
So, yeah, engagement is not purely positive.
But they think it is. They think, oh, everybody's talking about it. It must be great. The movie's going to do great. It's going to make so much money. No, it's not. Because in this past week, and now at this point, with the exception of us, no one's talking about this anymore. We're really talking about it because we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet this week. That's the only reason we're talking about it. But it's already faded from the current moment consciousness of the normies and discussions, because it was so dumb that it just needed to be laughed at and then forgotten. And we've mentioned the stands. They coped hard. But the shills are waning. The shills are waning. IGN on the 9th. You know, they tried to still shill for it, but on the 9th, Mandalorian Grogu Super Bowl trailer gives me a bad feeling about this. Ha 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 ha. Funny. But yeah, so they're
checked in it clear then.
Yeah, they're not feeling good about it. Right here. Talk about all the other trailers. Studios, networks, and streamers are Super Bowl ad space and the truckloads of money it takes to buy it to let general audiences know. That's true. The general audience to know what they've got cooking, and why you and everyone else you're watching the game with should be getting jazzed for it. Hell, Netflix even
that's
dropped.
A really good point.
It is. It actually is a good point.
This is for general audiences. This is for normies who may not have gotten around to seeing the first Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. So you want Super Bowl ads to be normie nip to the max and market the actual film. Show us what the film's about. So doing a gimmicky ad when you're talking to normies is a terrible idea. If this was a gimmicky ad at, I don't know, Star Wars Celebration, that's fine. Those are people who already seen the other trailers.
Everybody's there for that dog shit.
Exactly.
Celebration.
Exactly. Even if it were good, let's say hypothetically this trailer is good. Hypothetically. And, you know, you put it in a place where it's more likely to have existing fans reacting to it. When you're going to normie bait the Super Bowl, you need to normie bait the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And the normies are the ones you need to sell on this, because they're the ones that come in with the money, and not necessarily the repeat viewings, but the mass initial viewing that get you your foundation for your gross and then possibly your net. And we already know. And like I said, we have had real world examples of people passing on this, saying, "What am I looking at?" And the most common term I heard applied to this commercial, and therefore the movie, was that this movie's nothing but a filler episode from the regular series.
No, it's 100% true.
That's all.
The movie's going to be, I think it's reported at an hour and a half long, so it's an arc at best.
But guess what? We're going to see Hutta. We're going to Hutta for the first time ever in a Disney Star Wars movie. I've been to Hutta in a video game.
They shouldn't be connecting to the Clone Wars movie. As much as I enjoy the Clone Wars, I tried to rewatch it a couple of years ago and I couldn't get through it. So its estimation for me is much lower than it used to be when I was
It doesn't age well. It doesn't. The only one.
There are arcs. I think if I ever really try to rewatch it, is dedicated arcs, like the Mortis arc. I'm going to rewatch the
Mortis arc ages perfectly because George was directly involved in it, and a couple other arcs age well as well. But
yeah, so I'd be very specific if I were ever to rewatch it like that. But even as someone who was a Clone Wars fan, the Clone Wars movie was never good. So don't reference it.
No, and listen, I've been to Hutta in a video game before. I've been there. It's a swamp. It's nothing exciting. It's not beautiful.
Do you think it'll be a swamp in the movie?
It should be. The huts are.
Well, I don't know how much we trust them to get it right.
Anyway, but they list all this stuff, and this Tom Jorgensen, who I think we've reacted before as a moron, but broken clock, right twice a day, gets it right there. You have to convince the people, the normies, to go see this. But then he says there was one ad this year that put a pit in my stomach, and it's this one. The Mandalorian Grogu just used 30 very expensive seconds of Sam Elliott voiceover, and the bones of a Budweiser advertisement to incept Silverman and Green Boy back into your brains without showing off more of the $150 million plus budgeted movie the two star in, which released in a few months. I have a bad feeling about this. Yes, I mean, he's going to go on to say there's no...
I kind of wish this was an actual clip
Umph to this.
from the movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be glorious if the dog sled, Tauntaun sled was real?
I mean, but overall, the point is, the shills are waning. Polygon, Mandalorian Grogu Super Bowl trailer is one huge disappointment. This guy dances around it. I don't feel comfortable with it. Polygon, forced to say, huge disappointment. Star Wars films used to be an event. Jed, they're kind of co-opting the phrases we all use.
This happens every time we say something. We're consistent with what we say. We're labeled hateful, phobes, everything like that. And then a few years later, they say the same thing. Just like a few years ago, they're like, yeah, maybe the sequel trilogy wasn't good after all.
Yeah.
No shit. So we're consistent and we're called names. They flip-flop based on the mood of what they think is the zeitgeist, and they're the reliable ones, the trustworthy ones, the ones you should listen to religiously.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the same talking points we've had for years.
Yep. And we don't need to read this because it's just this it's flip-flop bullshit, like you said. But then IGN had to also go, hey guys, guess what? There's a cookbook, a tie-in Mandalorian and Grogu cookbook. So just the other day on Friday, they released this one. So they're now trying to remain in the good graces. But is this your promotion now? A cookbook? Let's be honest. Not a lot of people cook. You
don't understand your target audience.
Yeah.
The real target audience doesn't need something like this, finds it cringe. Their fake target audience lives in big cities, out of touch with the real world, and order in DoorDash every meal that they eat. So there's no real or fake target audience that this is good for.
Because nobody is going to buy this shit. Not even fake collectors will buy this shit.
No,
it's not a
if
trophy.
It's going to be a cookbook. Make it something that makes sense. Like Lord of the Rings, they talk about all the different foods, the different lands. It's part of the films. The depth of it is how there's different cuisines. So doing something for Lord of the Rings, I think actually makes sense. Having a little cookbook. The Hobbits talk about food all the time. That would work. In Star Wars, how often do they talk about food in Star Wars?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Food is kind of a distant afterthought in Star Wars.
I mean, blue milk would be the closest thing.
There are Star Wars cookbooks out there, but they're not paraded around as anything you give a damn about. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But this is now. We're not done yet though, because it's time for. Let's see. Yeah. So that was a bad transition. So I'm just going to move on. Mandalorian Grogu is turned into a joke now. There's no enthusiasm, no positivity, no engagement, no true engagement. So that is now going to be the incoming disaster in 3.5 months, roughly. What do you think's going on with the rest of Star Wars, Jed? Anything at all?
Irrelevance?
That and politicization. One, there's no word on Ahsoka season 2. There's that the word on that one.
Isn't that coming out in like 6 months?
It's this summer. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You gonna review it?
But of course I'm gonna review it. Of course I am. Water is wet, the sky is blue. Hell yeah. But during this week where the Mandalorian Grogu just turned into a joke, Tony Gilroy, wrong one, decided to, pull back the curtain and admit everything he did with Andor is political. Decided to admit it. Andor creator Tony Gilroy and how the show has helped people process Trump's cosplay fascism. I know.
What does that even mean?
I do hope we have some small part to play. We're one of many pieces, one of many paddles in the water. We spent like 5 years thinking about the sacrifice. The whole show is based on sacrifice. You're trying to write stories for all those different characters that go into sacrifice. Say it again. Say it again. We'll start a drinking game, jackass. You can't help but ask yourself the same question you're asking the audience. What would I do? What would you do? First of all, nobody asks questions like this. and it's clipped from an article about Andor, ICE, and Trump. I mean, this is politics. Andor, remember way back when they were going, it's like Tony Gilroy pretended saying, "Oh, we didn't make this political. People are just seeing this stuff." Well,
and people ate that up.
And the curtain is dropped now. This was a political propaganda piece the whole time, because Star Wars is political. How many times have we had to deal with that one? It's not. It's not.
To them, everything is political.
Yeah. So this just proves
Cat in the Hat is political to these people. I actually have seen that argument.
Really?
I mean, not Cat in the Hat, Tom and Jerry. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, well, yeah, they like to put racism and all kinds of shit into Tom and Jerry. But this is what I mean. This is the rest of Disney Star Wars right now. The politicization. Because that's what it is. It's all about agenda. It's all about beating you over the head, ideology, stuff like that. And at the same time, it's about this kind of bullshit here. Diego Luna insisted that his character in Andor retain his natural Mexican accent. He felt it was vital for Star Wars Galaxy to reflect a diverse range of voices, reinforced the idea that the rebellion was composed of people from everywhere. No, Jed, you know what the truth is about that?
He couldn't do an accent?
Diego Luna has no range. He can't. He has his one voice. He cannot change it.
Does he think Mexicans exist in space?
I guess so. I don't know.
One of the funniest things I've seen is this was somebody else who pointed out to me, but the idea that Spanish has been become the language of anti-colonialism. Do you know history? You know why that's
hard.
So funny.
Stop. The Spanish Empire was one of the major colonial empires of the period. Hello?
Spanish is not native to South America.
They colonized Central and South America. That's who colonized everything from Mexico south.
And they did a lot of the U.S., what is today the U.S., so they colonized 70% of the Americas.
Yeah, they got up at part of the South from Florida all the way to California through Texas, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then we kicked them out because we're America. We said, fuck you, get out. Spanish-American War. Point is,
I just think it's hilarious that they're acting like that's the sign of resistance.
Yeah.
They don't know history.
This is the other part of what I just said. It's about agenda. It's about political activism. It's about DEI bullshit, because that's all they have. Diego Luna's not a good actor. He has no range. He couldn't do anything else because he can't get rid of his Mexican accent. He's not like Antonio Banderas, who is a good actor and has range and can lessen his accent if he needs to, or increase it for comic purposes. Diego Luna's nothing.
Well, can you name another role he's famous for?
Not really.
I can name what his brother's famous for. I can't name what he's famous for.
His brother was the lesser version of Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's in the Last of Us TV show. He plays Pedro's brother.
Oh. He gay too?
Probably.
Okay. Point is, though,
he's married to a fat black woman who lectures everyone about communism and tells a 12-year-old girl in graphic detail how to use a menstrual cup.
Well, then he gets
that's in season 1.
Then he gets pegged every night. Then,
mm-hmm.
Point is, I brought this one up as the second page of the Tony Gilroy statement.
You don't get it. Stellan Skarsgård and Andy Serkis were in Andor, and they're good actors, so the show must be good.
All right, here's the thing. I love Stellan Skarsgård. I think the entire Skarsgård family are incredible. He phoned it in, and you know why? You know the sad reason why Stellan Skarsgård phoned it in. Do you know this? Mm-mm. He had a stroke. And
are they taking advantage of his stroke?
He needs an earpiece. He can't memorize lines the way he used to.
It's just like Bruce Willis.
Well, Bruce Willis has a
right, but the earpiece is what I mean.
Yeah, so Stellan Skarsgård
feels predatory what they're doing.
Stellan Skarsgård was not really Stellan Skarsgård when he did this anymore, because he's lost a part of himself because he can't remember his lines anymore.
They had a Fifth Element Easter egg in the background. It's clearly the best thing ever.
Oh, God. They had the Shankara stones too. Fucking piss me off.
See,
Hate that
I
shit.
haven't seen Andor. I have no interest in it. Let's say hypothetically it was the best Star Wars ever released, like some people were saying. I still wouldn't
They really
give
believe
a
that.
flying fuck.
There are people that say Andor 1, 2, and Rogue Squadron, or sorry, not Rogue Squadron.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Thank you, Rogue One. That's the best Star Wars trilogy. There are people that say that and think it and believe it.
Rogue One is the best of Disney Star Wars, in my opinion, at least live action stuff. But it's not great. It's mediocre, I think.
Yeah.
It's got some decent action, and and I like that everybody dies at the end instead of muddying the timeline even more. But it's not great. There's still all the same problems, like little 50-pound women punching stormtroopers unconscious through their helmets.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure when he had the stroke. Remember, Dune is already a lot of years ago. I think it was a more recent thing, past couple years. But I don't know, Dash. I don't know. But that's a thing, though. Stellan Skarsgård is still a fantastic actor, but he mailed it in this thing. He didn't give a shit. He claims he did, but he didn't give a shit. And Andy Serkis, he's a merc. He's a fucking merc. He'll go anywhere for the paycheck and and basically do Andy Serkis. Is what he'll do.
And I do think he is very talented when he's doing what he's good at, but he directed Venom 2, and that was a hot, steamy pilot.
I don't think he's as good a director as people say he is.
He's not a good writer. When he's ever writing a project, it's terrible, but he did, the B unit for the Hobbit movies, and he did a good job there. So when he's basically camera operator, he does pass
with control. It's the same thing. People say that Ryan Johnson is good when somebody else is holding his reins, but left to his own devices, we know what he can do.
A lot of these people are only as talented as the hand up their ass.
Puppeteering.
That's what I say about Dave Filoni from back in the day.
Puppeteering is talent. Sometimes it's strings, sometimes it's a hand up the ass. And here, I've heard discussions now that Dave Filoni didn't work as much with George Lucas as everybody claims he did during Clone Wars. And I've been reading some evidence people are bringing up that we know that George wanted to hire Genndy Tartakovsky, and Tartakovsky turned it down, and somebody else hired Filoni. George didn't hire Filoni, somebody else did. And Filoni, and rumors are now, the evidence coming up, that Filoni was terrible to work with on that show. Nobody wanted to really, he wanted to deviate so much it was difficult to work with him. Which kind of proves all the points I've been saying all these years.
Do you know the story about Sam Witwer's first day on set when he corrected Dave Filoni's Star Wars lore? And it was like a very tense moment. Like the other cast members were like, oh, Sam is never coming back. The way that Ashley described it, the voice of Ahsoka, is everyone just held their breath. Do you know what he got wrong?
What?
Dave Filoni didn't know that Padme met Shmi in Phantom Menace. Yeah. And that's what Sam Witwer corrected him on.
They were standing in the box watching the pod race,
and they had dinner at Shmi's home.
Yeah.
But there was a line where Anakin saw a Force ghost or a vision of Shmi, and it's like, I want you to meet my wife. I think you'd really like her. And Sam's like, well, they already met. And
there couldn't be a Force ghost of Shmi.
It was a vision. It was something trying to manipulate it. I don't remember the context, but it wasn't actually Shmi. It was some form of manipulation. I think that was the Mortis arc, but I'm not 100% sure. Because that was when Sam Witwer started on the Clone Wars, was as the son. So that would have been the Mortis arc when that happened with Shmi. But yeah, the way Ashley describes it is everyone held their breath and it's like, did he just say that Dave was wrong?
Well, if it was Mortis arc, George was there and Dave didn't have any control. So anyway, point is, this is the state of Disney Star Wars. It's a joke. It's politicized. And nobody has a leg to stand on because all they have is bring back Acolyte, more Andor. Oh, we're getting Ahsoka season 2. Oh, Mandalorian Grogu, but they're all divided. The people, where I got this post from. Look at this. This is the source of it. Meanwhile, at Lucasfilm, what actually worked.
Yeah, I love the division between Andor stands and Filoni stands.
Yeah.
And this best movie guy, he's sucking the dick of Nolan's Odyssey so much.
Well, look at
I think I've muted him just because he spams random shit like this.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever used him before for evidence. This one just popped up. But the point is, there is the divide between the stand base. They literally it's a lesser version of what it used to be like when you had OT, PT, EU going at each other's throats, except OT, PT, EU were actual fans.
Yeah, and it was
that
all in
had
good
passion.
fun. It was
Well-
mainly people who didn't want to read the books.
Yeah, well, the PT and the OT guys really went hard at each other.
Oh yeah, that one was.
They went hard at each other. While us EU grabbers going, it's all there, man. What are you guys fighting for? It's just embrace it all. That was our stance essentially. Just embrace it all. It's all good. Why are you fighting?
I get PT hate. I do get it.
I know
have
you
enough
get it.
nostalgia for the PT that I can enjoy watching, especially Revenge of the Sith. But
Yeah,
I get it.
but they're all at each other's throats now because the ones who think Andor is the greatest thing of Star Wars, they are massively upset that Dave Filoni takes over and that what they think the Filoni slop, which it is slop, but they are right about that, that's what Star Wars is going to be going forward. And yeah, it is. It is. So there
We're
it
not
is.
going to get any more Andor. It's the same thing with
No, you're
Picard
not.
season 3. We'll divorce that Picard season 3 is actually good from all the accounts that I've heard. But when there's a main guy, Dave Filoni or Alec Kurtzman, and some new guy comes in and shows them up, and their version is way more popular on a shoestring budget by comparison, their egos.
Oh,
get
Andor
wet.
had a lot of money put into it. No, Andor had a lot of
True.
money.
But it just in
Hundreds of millions
general,
of dollars.
Dave Filoni wasn't as involved in Andor as he was in Ahsoka or
He
whatnot.
greenlit it. I mean,
Kurtzman wasn't as involved in Picard season 3 as he
wasn't involved at all. Kurtzman was off
Exactly.
doing other shit.
So
He was, yeah.
I think it is a very comparable thing where it's
Mhm.
ego of the main showrunners hating that someone got something more popular than anything they've done
Mhm.
and banishing those
Well,
men.
they're also campy in more Andor because the character fucking died in a movie that came out before the 2 seasons.
I hate prequels.
I hate prequels.
If you're going
so
to do
much.
a prequel, separate it so much that there's not anything big that can be spoiled.
Yeah, but that was the whole problem with this is that this was very compacted, limited storytelling, and they had to break a lot of lore to make it happen. But lore was broken, and lore existed for a long time. Lore about Star Wars was upheld from 1977 to 2012, and there were for a lot of years a lot of stuff. You mentioned the EU. EU was there. Well, according to our friend Jeremy at Manabite, except for The Force Awakens, which was restarting the dormant franchise after a decade. So what year did Force Awakens come out? I believe it was 2014.
2015.
2015.
Mhm.
So if we go back just 10 years, 2005, Jed, what was going on television for Star Wars during that period of time from 2005 to 2012?
Well, Clone Wars was
Little
still
thing
around.
called the Clone Wars. Little thing called the Clone Wars, which, love it or hate it, did introduce Star Wars to a new younger generation in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was successful. It was
very
absolutely successful.
Merch
And
was sold, games were
the
made.
Underworld series was actively in development. Revenge of the Sith was received a lot more positively than the predecessors. Revenge of the Sith was not a destroying franchise moment where it's like it's dormant now. It's not Rise of Skywalker where they haven't made a movie in forever because they're terrified to continue that story.
So right now, this Jeremy the Jackass here is trying to tell people that Star Wars was dormant in the 2000s.
Yeah, EU was still active.
I have a shelf full of best-selling books this is before the New York Times was pay to play. Before the New York Times was pay to play. We have countless video games, countless successful video games, an active show in the Clone Wars, and people showing up at conventions still dressed as characters. Still
and
buying
you can't
merch.
tell me that if at the same point that Force Awakens was announced that George said, I'm doing episode 7, you can't tell me that there wouldn't have been an equal amount of massive hype.
Yeah. So this is just ridiculous. This is the state of mind of these people. This guy, and of course, if you here's a statement. If you write X articles, you're gay. Nobody reads X articles. Elon has made X a lot more influential, but nobody's reading X articles. And this guy comes out with an X article every other day on some stupid
it's not a
shit.
news platform. It's a social media platform.
Yeah, no one's reading this stuff. And it's always jackassery from this guy. It's always straw man arguments, fake data, and twisted logic. Because once again, remember, this is the guy that thinks Star Wars makes $1 billion in merch for Disney every year, and that Baby Yoda Grogu is the #1 selling item all the time.
In 2020, that would have been true. Right after
Yes.
season 1 during COVID, absolutely, I would believe that Grogu was the top selling item for Disney Star Wars. Now nothing sells. So maybe Grogu is still the top selling one. Maybe it is, but when you're comparing peanuts to pennies,
it's not.
Why does it matter?
Nobody.
What in Disney Star Wars would sell more? I'm talking like minuscule, minuscule
Legos. The Legos.
Absolutely.
As obscenely priced as they are, Legos sell because people will buy that shit. But but here's the thing, Jed, though. Disney Star Wars merch, the bottom line is Disney Star Wars merch doesn't move.
Absolutely.
It rots on shelves. I mean,
Acolyte toys are still in a landfill.
Yeah, I mean, Hasbro, I think they have the license right now for Disney for Star Wars toys. They don't make money on this shit. They'll make a HasLab something once in a while that might sell money, but nothing moves. The general merch on shelves doesn't move. Kids are not walking around with Disney Star Wars backpacks, binders.
Most kids aren't walking around with original trilogy stuff anymore either. There are still adults that will buy original Star Wars stuff if it's good, a good statue or something like that. But I think the damage is done that even good Star Wars merch isn't selling.
Yeah.
They don't make it anymore, though. There is no merch. There isn't. You have to go to third party to find these things. There's more money in the retro stuff, the collectible stuff, the people who just spend gobs of money on that stuff. But bottom line, this guy is wrong on so many levels, and he's so wrong to say a dormant franchise. How?
It tells me you're not a fan.
Exactly.
Or you're choosing not to remember. Because even myself, who I was never a massive Star Wars fan, I'd seen the films except for Revenge of the Sith all growing up. It was PG-13, so I wasn't allowed to see it. But I'd seen all the films. My family loved them. My younger brother's actually named Luke after Luke Skywalker. So Star Wars was important in my family. And I was around during this pre-Force Awakens time. It wasn't dead. We all still loved it. We still all watched the movies all together as a family I was buying merch. I loved Lego Star Wars toys as a kid. And we had lightsabers. And I was the perfect range. I was, 10 in 2010. This is exactly the range he's talking about dormant. Star Wars was the #1 talked about franchise. Even Marvel wasn't, at least where I was, talked about to the same degree as Star Wars, where I grew up in this era.
I mean, books sold, comics sold. Now all these same things from Star Wars, they don't sell. They don't sell. So now it's dormant. Now it's dying because Disney killed real Star Wars to push their own garbage.
It's egotism.
Yeah.
And a lot of famous creators and artists throughout history have been massive egos. We hear about some of the most talented directors in history being assholes on set, thinking they're God's gift to mankind. But when you're taking over someone else's franchise, you can't have that ego and be good at your job. You have to be a fucking adult and realize I'm adding to it. I'm not replacing it.
There was a term I once heard from classic comic artists and writers when getting to take over the big things like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, stuff like that. You're given this as a gift. You take the toy out of the box. You get to play with it. When you're done, you have to put the toy back in the box in one piece. You can't break it. Disney Star Wars not only broke Star Wars, they literally pushed it into a dumpster, poured gasoline on it, lit it on fire, and did a dance around it.
Then violated it.
And then when it was done, put their dick in it. Yeah. So it's disgusting. And people like this, Jeremy at Manabite, Jackass Jeremy, these guys all dance and try to rewrite history. And I really do love that people are catching on to this jackass on social media now. They're catching on to him, and he's getting roasted every time he puts something up by a part of the more hardcore true Star Wars fan base on X. I generally don't follow them. They're a little too hardcore in some places. They want to pick a fight with everybody sometimes. So I kind of don't really deal with it. But they've focused in on this guy. This guy's even worse than J.I. Jacob. This guy's worse than that idiot, because that idiot is just paper. He's a non-existent thing. This guy, I think, believes his own bullshit. This guy believes when he says these things. He believes when he says they make $1 billion.
He's a new Evan Loves Worf.
Possibly. You know, that dude got yeeted. His account got killed.
Really?
Yeah,
I saw a tweet from him just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, his account got nuked this week. X nuked his account this week. I believe I saw that.
I mean, he peddles a lot of hate, so
yeah, his account got nuked. I'm pretty sure I saw somebody say, "Oh, look whose account is gone." Yeah, Evan Loves Worf is gone. If you guys don't know what that is a pure, complete piece of shit out there. And
he supposedly has a wife, but everything he says is immensely gay. Just look at his name, Evan Loves Worf. That sounds like he's fantasized about
He
Worf.
wants to get fucked by a Klingon.
With them double penises.
No, there are no double penises. Anyway, so here we go. I wanted to round up this conversation with this type of jackassery and have fun with that. Okay, so there you go. There's that. All right. Our only other real topic today is state of play, which will connect to our sort of last topic later. So, state of play happened. I've sort of scanned what went down on it. Surprisingly so, I haven't heard a lot of bitching and moaning this time about it. Have you, Jed? Usually there's a lot of bitching and moaning after a state of play, and it was just kind of okay.
I didn't even know what happened until Ball Busters, so I didn't see anything online until after Ball Busters. I started seeing some stuff, and overall, yes, there was nothing offensive, but there was also nothing groundbreaking. There was nothing that got people excited. I think it was a very neutral state of play.
Safe.
It was incredibly safe and just didn't get talked about positively or negatively. The only thing people are talking about now is we're going to talk about God of War later with the remaster or the remake trilogy. But I don't know if you knew this. They released a new side-scroller God of War.
Yeah, it's up here too.
Game.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna
the backlash to it.
Backlash. No, I haven't heard that. So put a pin in that, because let's just go through it. I chose IGN, one, because dark background, and two, they have everything here. The IGN is good for lists. We give them that. They're good for lists. So we got a Castlevania Belmont's Curse new 2D Castlevania game announced. All right, Castlevania is a dead franchise.
I'm sure a couple people will like this, but I doubt it's going to make money. Yeah,
it's a dead franchise. Nobody really cares about Castlevania anymore. They failed to revamp it when it was necessary, and they just didn't. I remember when this first game, Kenna Scars Kimura kicks off state of play. I remember when this game came out or was announced years ago. I don't know if it came out and this is a sequel, but I don't think anybody cares about this game either. It's nothing. Saber and Dragon announced this new John Wick game. Now people are interested in the John Wick game.
That's true. That is the one positive thing I've absolutely seen.
And it's Keanu Reeves. It's actually him. He probably did the voice work for it, which will be cool because Keanu Reeves does gaming VA. He could be for Cyberpunk. So,
well, he did motion capture for them as well.
He did. Oh, I didn't know he did motion capture for that. I didn't know that. So,
I'm sure he did some motion capture for this as well.
Probably not the action, but probably maybe some scenes here and there for the story. But so this was a positive thing. People were like, "Oh, a real John Wick game. All right, cool. Yeah, I personally don't care. But this is positive. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're appealing to their fans, and from what I've heard of the John Wick fans out there, they were very happy with the trailer. I've only seen one John Wick movie, so I'm not a fan, but it looks interesting. I might check out the game.
Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 finally frees Metal Gear Solid 4 from the PS3. Was now, Jed, you had a bad experience with the last Metal Gear collection, didn't you?
Yes, the Metal Gear Delta, which is a remake of Metal Gear 3, I despised it. The only Metal Gear I'd played before is 5, Phantom Pain, and it's weird. I don't think it's well written, but it was fun. I enjoyed the gameplay quite a bit for Phantom Pain, but I found Delta to be incredibly pretentious, slow, and pointless. And this is, from what I've seen, criticism that I would have with the original games as well, because they just stop everything in the game to have radio conversations all the time. And then they say obvious stuff for 30 minutes and be like, isn't that so profound? Didn't you know communism is bad? Yes. Well, I'm going to say that 50 different ways and you're going to feel smart for listening to me. I see Metal Gear as a franchise as a pretentious ass title. Kojima is the Quentin Tarantino of game developers. He thinks he is
He's a troll.
A Beethoven. I don't think he's shit. If he just, took his, like, I made a fun game that I liked, whatever, great. But he, with what he did with Death Stranding 2, talking about, hey, I got perfect reviews. That's bad.
That.
I'm
That's
never
dumb.
allowed to have perfect reviews. I'm going to break the game on purpose.
That's really dumb.
He's pretentious as all hell. So I'm not going to check this out. But from what I understand, even people who liked Metal Gear Solid 3 didn't like Delta. I don't think I would like 3 from what I didn't like about Delta, but apparently there were enough changes that Delta wasn't received well.
Now, this will probably sell because, listen, I played the original Metal Gear on the NES. It was a top-down isometric game back then.
Was it as pretentious?
No, it was just there was barely any story to it. I enjoyed it. It was one of those games I could go back and replay over and over again once you figured out how to play it really well. I never got into the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I rented Solid 1, and I didn't like the gameplay personally. I could never, at the time, it just didn't appeal to me, and I rented it, played it for a couple days, and just took it back. Like, yep, I'm done. So I never got into this stuff. I'm not saying it's bad. It just was not for me. But it has its fan base. I'm sure this will do well. But with Phantom Pain was the end of it because it was a prequel wrapped up in a conclusion, from what I understand. So
it still had a cliffhanger. It was
Really?
weird the way that it was set up. So you go through the whole game, you spend 30 hours getting to it, and what feels like the ending happens, and then you get a trailer saying Part 2, and you're thinking, all right, is there going to be a second game? And then that Part 2 is just an extended epilogue. It's weird. Phantom Pain is not well written. It's bizarre. It's over the top. But I think this game. I think this game is a remaster, not a remake. So this will probably. Do
Oh, it's a remaster. I think it's a remaster because these.
Okay, then it'll
probably
be received
do well. Yeah, but so I think this is a safe thing because a lot of people like this Metal Gear Solid, so it's not for me and whatever. But all right.
Well,
so
while you're scrolling, Dragon Lady, I think she needs to step away.
Bye.
Yeah, night.
Take it easy.
Okay. And then there was us. Hi.
Ginger and the Jew.
Yeah. Ghost
always
Yote Legends DLC. All right, listen. As great as Ghost Tsushima was, nobody gave a fuck about Legends in Ghost Tsushima. Nobody gave a fuck about that, did they?
I don't even know what that was. It was
multiplayer. Multiplayer.
I never did that, yeah.
Nobody played Ghost of Tsushima for multiplayer. And now, for a second, let's take a moment and talk about Ghost of Yote. A few weeks ago, there was the article that Sony was pushing that it sold better than Tsushima in a certain window of time. But how? And is it still selling?
And that's okay if it's true because Tsushima was an unknown franchise. It didn't have IP support. It had that hill to climb of unfamiliarity. Yote didn't have the same problem.
And Yote cost $20 more on its release. Tsushima was
I'm sure the budget was higher. They said that the budget was the same, and I just don't believe that. Not with the marketing.
No. Now, I think in the end, Yote made its money. It made money.
I think it broke even, yeah.
I don't think it has had long-lasting success. I think it has completely fallen off. I don't think there are copies selling anymore. Units are not moving.
Tsushima's going to have a long-term player base. Yote, I don't think is.
Tsushima sold 13 million lifetime. This thing probably hasn't even sold 5 million at this point. That's my guess. Yote, in the end, was both a success and a failure because it should have been huge. And they fucked everybody over with their identity politics. And the whole conversation was nuts. So this thing was this. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You can still get in here. You still get in here.
Yeah, you're welcome in. We have a discussion topic still.
We got gaming.
The last number of Ghost of Tsushima's sales that was released was 3.3 million units. That was the last released number.
What, Yote?
Yote. Sorry.
Yote. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not going to reach Tsushima lifetime. It will not.
It absolutely made money. If the budget is true, yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah, just like E33 made money on its budget. Same type of thing. But Yote does not have the impact Tsushima did. Does not. Okay, so yeah, nobody cares about Legends because nobody cared about Legends for the better game. Another Resident Evil trailer. Nobody needs this. It's already going to make its. It's already got its copies already sold.
Yeah, it's just icing on the cake. People are excited. I'm going to play it when it comes out. Stream it. But
what is that, next week? It's next week, right?
Is it? Yeah, it's coming up very close. I think it's the 20-something. So
27th. Oh, 2 weeks.
27th.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks. So yeah, so this is this doesn't need any more push. RE9 is going to do fine. Although I've heard the commentary that stop showing us stuff. Just stop. We don't want to know anymore. Let the game come out. Don't ruin the story anymore. Saros gets gameplay deep throw. I don't know what this is.
I have no idea either.
I have no idea what this one is. Marathon reaffirms March release date with February server SAM. I don't know what this is either. Now are the things we don't know about. Control Resonance shows off extended look at gameplay. I don't know what this one is.
I'll probably play that. I played the first Control. It's a fun little game. Very suspenseful horror type. The story was fine. It was just very atmospheric. It was a great atmospheric. But it doesn't have the same protagonist, so I don't know if I'll actually end up getting it.
Okay. 007 First Light. This game is I think this game was gonna tank in the end. There's a lot of negativity surrounding this game. People do not.
If he's not a womanizer, that's probably gonna kill it.
Well, there's no beautiful women. People don't really want this type of Bond. I don't think this is going to be.
We already had an origin story with Casino Royale. That was him becoming 007.
And that was a garbage origin story. I don't care what anybody says. Casino Royale is crap.
It's not a good James Bond movie. It's a great spy movie, though. I love Casino Royale. Not a James Bond movie.
Beast of Reincarnation definitely doesn't sound like it's for us. Rev Noir, new RPG from Konami, set in World Shroud in Life. Okay, I've actually seen this. I will probably check this one out because RPGs, Konami, that's quality stuff for me. So this is something that I will probably check out. Star Wars Galactic Racer. Trailer confirms another Phantom Menace character. Back to our conversation about Star Wars. I don't think there's any juice in the bottle.
Well, do you know what Star Wars character that they're talking about here?
Yeah, big hit alien guy.
He's not even a named character, really, that anyone would recognize.
He has a name. It's just you have to be way hardcore.
In the movie, they don't say it. It's not important. He's just comedic relief.
No, they say his name in the announcement of the pod race. In the pod race, he's one of the pod racers.
Okay.
I just don't remember it.
Yeah, he's not a relevant character. He's just a funny, momentary comedic relief character.
Yeah. Ben Quadrinros, and he's the one that has the droids who are the maintenance crew for his pod racer.
So what? I'm just going to play the N64 pod racing game.
Nobody is interested in this. Not really. This is not a Star Wars game that's going to break it. And with a game like this, there's zero replay. That you play it once or twice, you're done with it. I've never understood racing games. I'm not into racing games. I'm just not. Neva Prologue teases more of a first adventure between Alba and Neva. I don't even know what this is, and it looks really out there. So, Mina the Hollower, don't know what that is. Defend against alien threat in 4 Loop.
Like 4 Loop was announced at the Game Awards. I think that's the game that Bad Robot is making.
Oh, no, thank you.
And it's a it's a Groundhog Day action story, I think.
Okay. All right, Pragmata. That's a game that's gotten a lot of push. It looks like mini BioShock or something like that. I don't know. Same concept, the same thing that we have like a little girl on the shoulder of the dudes. I don't know. Either way, this game, I've seen this game around a lot. I'm probably not into it, but this game it's something people have been looking at. Death Stranding 2 on the beach on PC.
Such a terrible title.
I know. Marvel Tokon. It's just more Marvel stuff. Rayman 37 Jersey. I said this beginning of the week before I took my break. Does anybody give a shit about Rayman?
I don't even know who he is.
It's a PlayStation. It's one of PlayStation's attempt at original characters back in the 90s. No one gives a fuck about Rayman. I'm sorry. No one gives a fuck about Rayman. PUBG publisher Craft and Fine reveals Project Windless, an ambitious open world action RPG from Ubisoft's former Far Cry director.
This looks wild. We reacted
That's the one
to
with the chicken one.
this on
That was the Chicken Man. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
It doesn't look like there's any story, but
I don't like Dynasty Warriors smash everything stuff. I'm not into that. And
yeah,
I can't play as a Chicken Man.
Finesse.
I cannot play as Chicken Man. I can't take it seriously. I don't care if he's dual wielding. I can't do it. I can't do it. Dead or Alive.
It's wild.
A new Dead or Alive game. Hey, for Dead or Alive fans, they're finally getting a new fighting game. I hope they get a good one. I was never into that game franchise. I tried it a couple times. Never could do it. Dead or Alive 6. Yeah, there it is. A new Legacy of Kain game. I would have to ask Sam of the Infamous. He's a huge Legacy of Kain guy. I would have to ask him if this is something he would think is good, because I have no opinion on this. I once watched somebody play the first game, and Sam has waxed poetic to me a number of times about the franchise, but I can't really comment if this is good or not. A remaster for more Legacy Kain. Darwin's Paradox. This looks whimsical. Don't care. Yako Shinobi Ops aims to redefine Shinobi action. Blah blah blah. Crimson Moon, a gothic action adventure RPG, wants you to defend humanity from hell. I hear RPG. It's something I might look at that. I hear RPG. Crimson Moon. Bringing Dying Abyss, next entry to Fantasy War Strategy RPG series. No, thank you. And that's it. Well, oh, no, that isn't it, because we go back to the top now. So, all right, so everything we saw here, I think safe is the best word.
Absolutely safe. Nothing offensive, nothing that is destroying the legacy of what came before.
All of these things have their fan base, except for Rayman. Who gives a fuck about Rayman? But all these things have their audiences. Plain and simple. Something that definitely does have an audience, though. Come on, work. God of War. 2 announcements. Why don't you run me through this one? Because I didn't know there was pushback against this side-scroller spin-off, God of War Sons of Sparta.
So, yeah, Sons of Sparta is a prequel to the first God of War game. It takes place with a 12-year-old boy, Kratos, and I believe Atreus, for those who know the lore, Atreus was his friend. They went to war together, and then he died, and once he went to the Norse realms, Kratos named his son after his dead friend. So I believe this is Atreus with him, but yeah, they're 10, 12-year-old boys. It's a side-scroller action adventure, and all the trailers and the marketing said, hey, this is 2-player co-op, so you can, play with your friend as Atreus or Kratos and go through the side-scroller adventure. Just what I think they get lost from Spartan training camp or something like that. Whatever, just a kind of harmless game that it was marketed as. Okay. The problem is the controversy came when this game was actually released on the day of the state of play. So it's actually out now. People have it. People have been playing it.
Okay.
When people started playing it, they found out that the main thing that was marketed for this game, the 2-player co-op, is only unlocked after you finish the campaign.
That's dumb.
So there's a mass demand for refunds. There's a mass demand for refunds.
If the replay value isn't there, why do you want to play it again with your friend if you didn't have fun the first time?
Yeah, it was a terrible choice. If they hadn't marketed so heavily on that, it would have been fine. If they're just like, hey, this is a side scroller about young Atreus, they might have been fine. But they promised 2-player co-op, and the campaign, I think, is 15 hours. So, it's a decent length. Yeah. And you have to go through all that to unlocked co-op. It was a very bad marketing scheme.
Yeah,
if this had just been marketed as single player and then you get to the end, it's like, oh, by the way, you've now unlocked co-op mode. That would be exciting. That would feel rewarding and initiate replay value for people. Mm-hmm. That would have been genius. But yeah, it's a failure of the marketing campaign, which has led to this game being a failure. I don't know if the refunds will be allowed because of that. People have been sued for inaccurate marketing in the past.
Yeah, that's a thing now. If you don't market something honestly, you can get in trouble.
Yeah. So that is a concern they should be worried about.
Well, Santa Monica better hope that just give them refunds. Give the refunds, let it go away. That's my advice. But at the same time, now here's the surprise. God of War trilogy, a remake. So, Jed, people want the next chapter in the story. And you yourself have told me many times, there is a swath of God of War fans that hate the Norse saga. They just want their button mash, kill everything in sight. They want the original controls. They don't like what they did with the Norse duology. And listen, I like the Norse games. I have my problems with it for gameplay purposes. I have some problems with the gameplay. I've talked about it. Pull me farther back. Not being able to see everything is very annoying. I need a little more, especially. But it's realistic. You can't see him coming. You're a goddamn god. You're God. We're beyond realism here. Shut up. I need to be able to see the field of battle. So I'm going to bring this down and bring it back up because I haven't watched this trailer. Have you seen this trailer yet?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so I haven't watched it. I'm going to bring this back because I didn't share this with audio. Let's bring this back up.
I'm on board for the idea of a remake trilogy. I don't think you need to remake the third one, though, because there was a remaster of the third one. That's great. That's the version of it I played. It doesn't feel like it aged at all. That one is great. But when I played the first two, I would say those have aged roughly. And they need a tune-up. I think those first two need a tune-up.
I got the first two as a they were my in console purchase when I got my PS3. I got the two. It was you could use that or that stupid little Sackboy game, whatever it was.
Oh
called. Yeah, that little thing. And either that or get the God of War edition. I got the God of War edition where I got because I hadn't played them yet. I'd been waiting for my PS3. And I got it, and I got God of War 1 and God of War 2 on your back in the day when they give you a game with your console, whether you ordered the bundle or not. So I got that, and so I already had them for the remastered PS3 version before even, and then I got God of War 3 used before because I didn't have a PS. When I got my PS4, they were still coming out with it. But the point is, so I played them very nice. They looked great when I played them, and. Now, question is, before we hit this, what does remake mean?
That's going to be very important because, as you highlighted, there is a schism in the fan base between the Greek games and the Norse games. And, of course, there's people who like both, like us.
Yeah.
If they change the gameplay to be more like the Norse games, both sides will riot.
Yeah, I mean, there's different games. One is semi-action RPG. One is...
And they wrote the change in gameplay into the story. It makes sense that his fighting style would have evolved after the events of 3. I'm one of those people who say 3's existence and 3's endings means that you can't have a God of War 4 that looks just like the Greek ones. That ending is so pivotal to his character arc that you needed to evolve him. So if you liked God of War 3, you shouldn't want a God of War 4 that looks exactly like it, in my opinion.
Oh, no, stop. Can I watch this, please? Here we go. Okay. Really?
Yeah, watching it on IGN is great.
Are we actually seeing anything here?
From what I understand, I think it's mostly a title reveal.
Imagery? Okay. 2.
Zeus! Your son has returned. Hey.
Okay, original Kratos voice actor. Do you want to hear what
he's coming back for it? We can check it out. The thing I want to point out real quick, though, is the problem with this remake as well is they will have to change the God of War 1 ending because there's that point in the present day where they come across Kronos' skeleton. There are aspects of that ending that were retconned in just 2, let alone in the Norse ones. So they have continuity issues that they're going to have to address, and that's going to piss people off. I think this is almost a no-win scenario.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, fam? It is OGTC, the original God of War. How y'all doing today? I'm so glad you're hanging out.
And it makes sense. Use the original voice actor. I have no problem with that. Because our boy Chris Judge is the older boy, indeed.
Yeah, the voice evolved. It makes sense to have a new voice actor. And it's not motion capture, so as long as he can still sound the same, great.
Yeah.
And I want you to know, as we close out this last few months of the God of War's 20th anniversary, I'm thrilled to bring you some exciting news about the series today. Now, look, we are happy and excited to finally confirm that the Greek trilogy remake is now in development. Yeah, man.
In development.
That's why I think they didn't show anything. I wouldn't expect any of
We're
it
years.
2028, 2029.
We're years away. Okay, let's finish this. And I got to comment on that.
And I know. Sit down. Now, look, this project is still in the early stages. So it'll be a minute before we get back to share another update, right? But I'm telling you, next time we come back, we coming with something big, baby. Yeah. So, closing, I want to say thank you. Thank you all for your patience. You've been waiting. So thank you for your patience. But most of all, I want to thank you all for supporting this God of War franchise all these years. Appreciate you. Peace.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a smart thing to do. But I have questions about this now. One, early development. We are years away from this. And when I say
away
years,
from getting answers to the questions that we have,
we are 3-4 years away from this game, and it's true. So it's going to be one game with all three. It's not like they're going to release one remake to like they're doing with Final Fantasy VII remake. No, they're going to release the whole thing. Of course, it's a smaller scale than Final Fantasy VII, but
there's not a whole lot of story in the first two.
Yeah. So this is a gamble because let's be honest, people want Egypt. People want Kratos to go to Egypt and kill Egyptian gods for one reason or another, whatever the reason may be. People want Egypt. Why do this? Do you have an answer? Why are they doing this?
Well, I think it's kind of twofold. So the development of God of War 2018 took a lot of time, a lot of years, and they planned out a lot of the stuff for Ragnarok. So that helped Ragnarok come out within 4 years, I believe it was the difference between the two of them. But now they don't have a plan anymore, so it's taking longer to make whatever the new game is, if it's Egypt or whatnot. So I think they're trying to tide fans over as part of it. Is just, give the fans a bone.
Pacification.
Pacification is a great way of putting it until they get there. I mean, it's better than releasing a spin-off game like Spider-Man Miles Morales starring Atreus. That would have been a massive disaster. But a remake is something easy to do, make fans happy, because I do believe that 1 and 2 do need to be remade or remastered. 3, not so much, but there is a necessity for something like that. And if this could have been a genius move, I would have praised the marketing. If the God of War TV show were adapting the Greek games, that would have been perfect, because there are a lot of God of War game fans who have only played the Norse ones because of the time difference. They weren't gamers when the original ones came out, and it is daunting to see the differences. And I don't love the gameplay, the hack and slash, just the button mashing of the old ones. I prefer the more nuanced combat of the Norse games. So that difference, and the difference in graphics and everything like that, the drawingness of the difference in character, has been a barrier for a lot of people to go check out the original trilogy. So if they were making the TV show about the Greek games, you're introducing fans to that era, and you're giving them a new polished version of that product that they can finally check out or decide to check out. You can argue whether or not they should have just sucked it up and dealt with it and played the old ones. That's fine to have an argument for that. But that would have been masterful marketing if Amazon and Santa Monica Studios were doing that. But because we don't even know what the TV show is adapting, it's a weird amalgamation of 2018 and Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It's just a fart in the wind. It feels completely disconnected and will distract people, because there will be people who are normies who don't play any of the games who hear, oh, there's a new God of War game. Maybe I should check it out, and maybe it'll help me understand the show, and I'll check that out because I hear people like it.
Yeah.
And then they see that difference, and it's going to jar normies.
Yeah.
So what could have been genius because of Ron D. Moore and his team, whoever's decision was to do the Norse games, this went from a genius maneuver to a disastrous maneuver, or just a pointless maneuver.
I cannot disagree with your sentiment there, because, like you just said, for some unknown reason, and I don't know if it's because Ron D. Moore has bad advisors in this, because we know he admitted he didn't play the games, was not going to play the games. I don't know if it's they had too much left over from the previous stuff before they threw it all out.
Rafe Chuck and stuff. Because I can believe him making that moronic decision.
Well, yeah.
I think it's recency bias is to blame.
I agree, probably. But what they have now is the problem that we already mentioned. What does remake mean? Because it's not remaster. I don't think we don't have the confusion remake remaster in this case. This is remake. They are going to remake it from the ground up. But what are you going to get when you do this? That's the question. What are you getting? Are you getting a hybrid between the gameplay of the original and 2018 Ragnarok? Or are you going to go back full button mash, which might not appeal to the people who only played Ragnarok and haven't, like you said, have not gone back and played the original trilogy? I would be okay either way. I don't know if I'm even interested enough to replay to do this right now. I don't know. I need to see this right now. I need to know if they are going to neuter the original game at all. Because
that's the biggest question, is neutering it, because it's very different content wise. Are they going to cut out the sex scenes?
Yeah, and 1 through 3 is a serious revenge story. Serious revenge story. There's no middle ground. There's no 2018 Ragnarok has a lot of layers to it in terms of its story and depth and characters. Original trilogy, you're Kratos, you're pissed off, you're killing everybody. Athena fucks with you, Zeus fucks with you. And you kill them too. That's it. You want revenge on Ares in the first game for tricking you into killing your family. I mean, that's it. There's not a lot of depth to these stories. It's fun as hell. Fun as hell.
It wasn't until the third one that there was a story really introduced.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a little bit in the second one with Zeus and the reveals.
The large battles, the large scale monster fights are insane and incredible. Real the quick time battle, stuff like that. When a quick time battle was still a thing in games, fantastic, glorious fun. But here we are. What do you do? And I think you said they're in a no-win scenario here. If you fuck with it in any way, the OG people who don't like 2018 Ragnarok, they will revolt. They're the ones you need to buy this game. The original fans. You need to buy this game. And if you fuck with it, if you do something that ruins the overall story, whatever story there is in there, they will not be happy. If you go too far one direction with the game styles, everybody's going to be upset. I mean, honestly,
don't change the gameplay and include the graphic content in all the different forms that takes. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have people willing to give it a chance. That's all you need right now is willing to give it a chance.
Honestly, you cannot do 2018 Ragnarok gameplay in the original trilogy. You can't.
God, no.
There's too much flying around you do as Kratos in that. And in 2018 Ragnarok, you're very grounded as Kratos. You're not jumping around, flying. Even when you get the Blades of Chaos back, you're not swinging around on giant monsters as much.
Well, and you're human for parts of it.
Yeah, in the first one, you are human. Second one, you're a god.
Well, you do lose your godlike abilities.
Yeah, but you're still a god. You're
still more than human. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a fine line, and I don't know if Santa Monica can do it. I don't know. I mean, is anybody whispering in their ear this time like Sweet Baby Inc. was? What powers are out there that we don't know about that are getting involved with this game? I mean, yes, getting original Kratos voice actor who I didn't know he was a voice actor until years later. I know him from the sitcom Living Single. That's where I know that guy from back in the day. But
his voice still sounds great, so
his voice,
perfect.
He'll be able
and they
to
can
do
still
the voice.
use the voice acting from the original when it's needed.
Probably, but I have a feeling he can pull off the voice work. He doesn't sound like his voice is damaged at all. He sounds the same as he did. He sounds the same as he did 30 years ago when I first saw him on Living Single. So his voice is fine.
It is funny to see the comparison between the way he acts and Kratos. He's a lot more feminine in real life, but that's talented actor.
That's good voice acting. And that's acting. Becoming somebody else, which you can do. And oh, look, he's black. And guess what? Kratos was not black, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's voice acting and motion capture. It literally doesn't. And even if the actor were black, you're covered in white paint for most of the live action role.
Yeah. So this game, I think there's a lot riding on this game. I think there's a lot. This could be either a massive success or a disaster. I don't think there's any middle ground, do you?
Not really. It might be a fart in the wind, but if we remember the Grand Theft Auto remake trilogy from a couple of years ago, even though that wasn't connected to anything, and it was a little bit of a pacification, just like I was talking about for this one, for people wanting GTA 6, that game was a massive disaster because of quality control, massive backfire. Yeah. And even the Tomb Raider remasters that they did, now they're going to do the remakes instead. Those were controversial. I think the the Mass Effect trilogy, the Legendary Edition, is one of the most successful versions.
Legendary Edition is a work of art because they literally just gave it a massive facelift. They tweaked the controls of Mass Effect 1 to more line up with the other games a little bit, and that's it. Oh, but Adam, you didn't see Miranda's ass in that one scene. That was the only change. They didn't change anything else. And I still hold that they did that to basically pacify certain things. And just like now we can pacify the audience. Oh, look at that. Look what he's doing there. He's been
what up?
Boy got his first do-rag.
You made it. You made it for the end.
Exactly. And now he said that Dreezy doesn't show up for work.
What happened? How'd your power go out?
So last night, somebody drove their car into a transformer.
Oh, fuck.
I heard that it was like 11:30 at night.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting there watching DS9, having a good time, having a great time. We're rewatching DS9, aren't we, fat boy? Yes, we are. And then I hear something go, bah! I was like, wait, I'm not in the ghetto no more. Then I
flashbacks.
Bring that shit with me.
Exactly. I hear all this power going. I'm like, whoa. Then all the power like went out.
Oh man.
And like so, like I mean, luckily most of my stuff is in surge protectors.
Oh yeah,
but like the cabling in like Comcast cabling that's outside end up getting affected, and
the surge
and my bottle warmer end up getting destroyed. So
but that's random act of what the fuck.
It is, and it was wild stuff, man. Like you can't script this type of crap. Like, I gotta get used to these suburban issues.
Yeah,
suburban crap.
When you sent the DM this morning saying powers, I'm like, we didn't have any weather yesterday around the region. So why is this power out?
Nope.
And like,
random food.
Random motherfucker. That's it. All right.
No matter where you move, you can escape random idiots.
No, you cannot. Nope. You cannot. All right. So, all right, Dre, you're here for the last part here. We're talking about the God of War remake trilogy they announced as State of Play. What are your thoughts on this?
That's a good question. I think it will introduce people that were into the 2018 and Ragnarok. I think it might reintroduce them, like because maybe they were young when Ragnarok came out, and now they weren't really aware or didn't play the original God of Wars. I think it'll be a nice
I think it'll be nice as long as they don't change anything.
Well, that's the thing we're asking.
Yeah.
They have if this is remake, which means it's from ground up. If they fuck with the gameplay too much, and if they screw with the story, it's going to be disaster.
Yeah.
If the third game doesn't have the Aphrodite threesome, it's over. That's going to be the make or break.
Keep the game as is, and then just give us a new shiny coat of paint. I want my mutton bashing fornication, without question. That's a must. And I need just regular old Blades of Chaos doing Blades of Chaos things. Like I need simple stuff.
Yeah, because I just said that they cannot have 2018 Ragnarok gameplay in the original trilogy.
Absolutely not. It wouldn't
They can't
work.
do it. Can't do it.
It needs to be a hack and slash, beat 'em up style, going across.
Yeah.
With the Blades of Chaos doing unspeakable things. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's either going to be a success or it's going to be a failure. And we agreed prior to coming in here that we think it's a pacification to keep people at bay because where's Egypt? Where's Egypt?
So I was just looking. The rumor is Santa Monica's next AAA title will be 2027 with a release announcement this summer, but no confirmation if that is the next God of War.
I mean, from a marketing standpoint, I think this is a good idea because you gotta. I mean, like even though I think you mentioned earlier, Adam, that it's many years away. The show, the God of War,
this
show,
thing.
many years away.
Yeah, God of War. They. I mean, I brought it up when we're talking about it, but the cast. We got the additional cast of Atreus this week on the show.
Oh, okay.
And here's this kid. Here's a better shot of him. This is the kid that's going to be Atreus.
Okay, I guess that's fine.
I mean, he's 9-10 years old, and Atreus is supposed to be 11, 12. So
by the time they
shoot, yeah,
by the time they shoot, it'll be.
I don't know.
My only problem with the casting, because I think he looks close enough, the age is close enough. My only concern is we've been seeing all this casting from Ragnarok, where he's supposed to be 16, 15-ish, a little bit older. So what are they adapting? They're taking stuff from 2018 and Ragnarok. It looks like they're just putting it in a blender. That's why I believe, Adam, you mentioned it a couple weeks ago, that they were probably doing their own version of the story. And the casting of Atreus with all these other ones leads me to believe that that's true. Because you can't have 10-year-old, 12-year-old Atreus in scenes with Odin.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And Derby and I had a mini argument about this the other day. With the exception of Ryan Hurst and the dude that got to play Thor, Olaf Olsson, and this chick, I feel like, and of course, getting the actual voice actor from Amir, who's going to be all CGI. A lot of this is bad casting. I think we said it last time. I think Mandy Patinkin's a miscast. I think these guys as the brothers.
I think Brock is. The other guy might be fine. Sindri, it's okay to be a little bit less.
I think there's a lot of misguided. I don't know this guy for Heimdall, but
he looks
something is unsettling about this majority of this cast for me. It just doesn't sit right with me. I feel like it's missed. I mean, again, original actor for Odin, maybe he said no because that's literally him in the game. He was mocapped into the game, so
he's the only one who got to keep his face.
Yeah, so. Maybe he said no. Maybe he's semi-retired. I mean, he doesn't want to do it. I don't know. Maybe he's got something else going on. But I think Mandy Patinkin is just a massive miscast. As good an actor as he is, he's just a massive miscast. So, I mean, and the kid, I don't know. I don't know. I have no opinion on the kid as a kid. But I don't know if he.
You need to see how good of an actor he is.
He was in a
Atreus
Child's Play movie.
To talk a lot.
Yeah, I don't know this kid, and I don't like to talk about child actors. I really don't because. A lot of times you can't really talk about them because you don't know
what's going on.
Yeah. So you bring in this and you said it before. If it was going to be the Greek saga, you could have great time with this announcement, but that TV show looks like some sort of amalgamation of 2018 and Ragnarok. And I don't think it's going to land. I just don't.
We should have gotten Greek trilogy and like a 35-year-old actor for Kratos. We could have had a decade's worth of God of War TV show gold. Now we're going to be lucky to get 2 seasons in 5 years, I think.
And what are we getting? What are we getting? We don't know.
An original story.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
That's what's going to happen.
I don't know. So, in the end, the state of play is safe. The most exciting thing was the God of War trilogy announcement, remake announcement. But it's a double-edged sword. It could be great. It could hurt itself, hurt us. We don't know. I need to see a gameplay trailer. I need to see a real trailer for the remake trilogy, and I need to know. And I need a plot summary for the TV show. I don't need to know what's going on. I just need a basic introductory summary of what are we doing.
Just tell us the era, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, and it can't be some sort of prequel story to 2018 because that means there'd be no fighting. Because up until the journey to bring the ashes, Kratos doesn't kill shit. He's just
Kratos doesn't, but Faye does. She had the axe before him, and there's stuff in Ragnarok that says she fought Thor with the Leviathan axe.
Yeah, because she wasn't Etten. So I mean, she was a giant. That's legitimate.
That stuff is really cool. Seeing that frozen lightning bolt up in the northern regions of that map.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is you can't tell anything before that because in that little region where Atreus grows up, Kratos didn't leave that for 10 years, which means he didn't get his God of War on. So I don't know what they're going to do with this, and I don't know what they're going to do with this game, this remake trilogy. So I hate using this term, but this is a wait and see. I'm not trashing either of these. I just have questions and I have worries, and I don't know what's going to go on. All right, since Dre is here, sort of, why don't I ask our discussion question then? I'll ask our discussion question because we can go a little bit longer. So here we are. It's 2026, and I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've been doing this culture war stuff for 5 years with plans to do bigger things, greater things that we talk about all the time. But I got into this to comment and make a name for myself, talk about these things before I sell a product. But at the same time, I do give a damn. Look behind me. I have all this stuff around me. I give a damn about the things I cover. When we got into this, all of us at various stages, it was because we'd had enough. We had to say something. We wanted to contribute in some way to salvaging what was left. And there was a certain way to approach this in the first 3 to 4 years of this. Everything was woke. The term applied, right? The term applied. This is woke, that is woke. I first heard the term woke in 2017 in an article my mom read to me. And she said to me, what is this nonsense? This term woke. And then it doesn't even mean now what it meant then, because the original term, and we have our protection now, so we can talk about it. The blackety black term, you're being woken up to the oppression.
That is
black
correct.
people. Yeah. So woken up, woke. Problem is, it doesn't even mean that anymore. It became something that meant viscerally changing, mutating, breaking up and damaging something for the sake of agenda, not just racist ideology agenda or victimhood agenda, I guess a better way to put it, but the whole umbrella of rainbow colors and other stuff that goes into that. Hiring, political activism. It became a blanket term. And Jed, for a couple of years, it was the right term to use, right? Woke. It was
100% the right term because it was all inclusive. It spoke to the heart of the problem, and just like you said, it was all about agenda, changing these franchises from a very malicious standpoint. But it doesn't apply in a lot of ways because some of the stuff that is being labeled woke these days is just poorly written, or it's been co-opted into anything that you don't like. It's watered down to now it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, when it came out, it felt like everything was woke. We were all swept up in the the emotions of seeing everything that we love. So rage for sadness, apathy for seeing all of the things that we love so thoroughly destroyed by people who showed open contempt for it. And I think that's where it's more evolved now, is even when it isn't politically motivated, there's still a disregard for these IPs that we love in modern interpretations of them. And we're still seeing the residual effect in even these poorly written shows, because for the original term, woke casting, woke hiring practices hired a lot of incompetent people, and those people are still in positions of power. And sometimes they're avoiding the political ideology in the content of the story, but they're still very bad at their jobs. So the product turns out like shit. So woke effects, I think, can still be seen, but the applicability of the term has waned as there are rage grifters. That's absolutely a thing. I think rage baiting is a major problem in our sphere right now and just in general. And they've so thoroughly watered it down that they've destroyed the meaning. And when you're changing language like this, I think you're doing more damage to society.
You bring up the true rage grifters, and their problem is they're disingenuous.
They're
people
taking advantage of it.
They didn't get in this because they gave a damn. They gave into it to turn it into a career and to make money. And yeah, nothing wrong with that, but don't pretend you really give a damn. That's my problem with it. Don't steal the thunder of those of us who actually are trying to change this and help it and push it back. You're just in this to make your money, and I don't have a problem with that. But it's wrong to pretend otherwise. But Dre, from within the wokeness was definitely they retained a sense of that original victimhood propaganda stuff, which woke originally meant, but then they expanded it to rainbow mafia crap.
Now, here's the thing about what woke used to mean. You hit the nail right on the head about the Black struggle, about opening your eyes and waking up and seeing what's actually happening in front of you. Now, the term woke actually was commandeered from the awakening movement from the 1970s with the Black Panthers and all them other people. And so at the time, it was a term that was actually used that actually made a lot of sense. Like, hey, we going through stuff. There's literally laws in play to keep Black people down, which is true.
Yeah, history.
That no longer applies anymore. So it was then commandeered by Black extremist groups of, hey, wake up, brother, see the struggle, and then was commandeered by white women, which is absolutely insane to me. We suffer. Same team. We're suffering. We get it. And then, of course, the final form was the alphabet community. So at one point, this word actually had something of value back when it actually meant something about the legitimate advancement of a people that's literally being suppressed, not only socially, but legally, to the point where it's just commandeered to just give us what we want. We want race change, race swap, race this, and hey, now this dude is into butt sex, and all that nonsense that the original movement's got nothing to do with. So this is where I'm mad at the most. I'm mad at Black people. I'm mad at Black people the most because this is a term that's being commandeered by individuals that do not have our best interest in mind. Let's get that out the way.
Yep.
This was, they will say, our word. This was our word. And you have allowed different groups to commandeer it and then pervert it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Pervert the word and then allow it to be used as a slur. The word woke is a slur at this point. Because right when we see anything that looks like, oh, here you go again, woke, like it's immediately marked as something negative. It's earned that right over the last decade of abuse of the word. It's been misused by all these other communities, including Black nationalists as well, them too. It's been misused, and now it is a slur, and they've earned it. They've earned it. Now, this is what I will say. Even by its new definition, everything is not woke. Everything is not woke. Just because you have a leading person of color doesn't mean that it's woke. Just because there's someone happens to be a woman in a role doesn't mean that it's woke. Now, granted, we have been conditioned to think that way,
And that's the problem.
and because of their behavior, behavior of the commandeering of the word and the abuse of the word, we now equate anything that goes with the new definition to immediately connect it, which isn't necessarily fair, but that's what we've been conditioned to do.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah, you got no choice. You got no choice. You work hard for your reward.
And there are two things that got roped into that. One is that during this period where the serious part of the culture war from essentially 2019 to 2024, cancel culture was born within that. And cancel culture was attached to people, was used against people who did not bend the knee to the wokeness.
That's correct.
And that is part of what you described there. We have a reaction to this stuff because nobody wants to see the return of cancel culture. Cancel culture ended. It's over. That is done. And part of the belief is, I think, you must clamp down on anything you might think is woke so that cancel culture cannot return and destroy people's lives. Because people's lives were destroyed. It was sick and disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, though. As you just said, it was a word used appropriately for a while, but as Jed pointed out, it has been used so heavily by all sides. It's lost all its meaning. Like you just said, it cannot be applied universally, which is why I say, let's take a step and go to what really was behind the woke. Like you said, parties, people using other people, political activism, ideology. That is what has been behind all of this, whether you're pushing alphabet mafia, cut your penis off agenda, whether you are trying to DEI everything up, race swapping, gender swapping, whether all that kind of stuff, whether you're gaying it up, all that kind of stuff, whether it's women's time, whether women are great and men are stupid, all of it. It's always the political activism, and I will say that the two words that go with it, communist Marxism behind it, because that is the core. It is time to stop saying woke and call it what it is, political activism, commie Marxism. It's the commies. Always has been, always will be. They are the ones behind this, because what was wokeism? It was an attempt to disrupt the natural order of things, to create chaos and dissension, which is how the commies get in. Because when things are broken, they seep in, they grab power, and then they never let go of the power. And they inflict their rules and regulations and their all control upon you. And then you can't get out of it because they squeeze you until you're dead. And the problem is now, and this is no dig at people, this is just the truth of it. I don't mean to, I'm not picking a fight with anybody. I'm not even thinking of anybody in particular here when I say this. We are all students of history right here. We have studied stuff at various things. We've had these discussions. A lot of people don't know the history. They do not know history. So when they say woke, they do not know that they're just throwing a word out there that doesn't have true meaning. But if you understand the history of communist Marxism, then that's the hard foundation of it. But the thing is, people don't really understand it. People are first starting to get a clue that the commies are out there. And once again, as we've discussed before, it's a circle. And when you go far enough around, the communism, the fascism cross together. It's the same thing in the end. So the other side throws around the term fascism. People throw around the word communism. No, it's the same thing, but one side is actually doing it and one side isn't. And the one side that is doing it wants it infested into our culture. And that is where I think now it needs to be understood. It's not, we need to stop running around saying woke, this, woke, that. Oh, we see a woman has woke. No, we have to say, all right, let's take a look at this. What is the content? What are they talking about? And then make the statement. Is this indoctrination? We've used that word lightly in the past, and people used it, but I don't think they've used it to the level you have to understand. Are they pushing commie Marxist agenda? Are they pushing socially destabilizing topics, ideas that are supposed to denigrate that which has held up modern society for the past 100-odd years since we finished the last set of wars, real wars, not the pot sticker fighting pot shot thing we do now. I mean, little things. I'm talking world at war, not like what goes on in the Middle East. And no denigration at that, but those are small, minor conflicts compared to a world at war. Mm-hmm. And what we have here now is call it like that. My whole point is call it like it is. Don't use the word. I will say this: don't use the word woke anymore. Jed, do I ever use that word anymore when we talk about this stuff? Do I really?
No, and you never really used it a whole lot to begin with, but the word's lost a lot of its meaning. And one thing you said that's very important is by saying that the culture war is evolving, we're not saying that the fight's over. We're not saying to become complacent or anything like that. All this stuff is still happening to varying degrees. What we need to realize is taking out the rage grifters, the one who are taking advantage of the situation and using the term aggressively to try to cling on to the success that they gained from the culture war, taking them out of the equation. I think there's also a big problem with PTSD. A lot of the similar behaviors are at play because we were shown so much of this wokeness for years, or whatever you want to call it, this agenda-driven storytelling for so long that we're seeing phantoms. If you ever meet someone who went to war in the Middle East or war of any kind and they come home, they're constantly seeing shadows of what they experienced, the trauma they experienced. Real shit. Like dropping a tool in a workshop, they suddenly go into fight or flight thinking it was a gunshot and everything like that. And that's not a healthy behavior. It is something that they have to work through. It's understandable. That's why I have sympathy for people caught in a woke PTSD loop. I have sympathy, but it is not a healthy behavior. And only by getting some nuance, some perspective back to be able to critically look at a situation are soldiers with PTSD able to get through and operate in society correctly. They're able to get a little bit less emotional at every drop of a hat. So what you said is very important there, is that we need to critically look at each of these situations and say, all right, there's a woman in the protagonist role. Is that agenda driven or does that make sense for the story? And one thing I talk about a lot is we need to reward quality when it exists. With you're always talking about Square Enix when they're moving in a more positive direction. So you want to support that. If we don't do that, then none of this will ever get fixed. So we need to have the capacity to have nuance in this new form of the culture war and to not constantly see phantoms of wokeness from our PTSD, to be able to highlight what's good, call out what's bad, and move forward into a better future. Because I think winning is probably a bad way of putting it, but it's less prevalent than it used to be. The wokeness, the political ideology, the agenda-driven storytelling, it's less prevalent than it was 5 years ago. So that is progress, and we want to highlight that. And the changes that you and I, Adam, and Dre never really needed to make this change because he was already doing it, but the changes we made in our channel is we're not just talking about news reaction. We're not only calling out horrible stuff, because a lot of this damage to these franchises, they're done. It's going to take so much work to save Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, and everything like that, that it's almost not even worth the effort at this point. So at a certain point, you do need to cut ties, like Dre's always saying, and add to the culture. That's how we're fighting the culture war now. Yep. Adam and I are writing our books. Dre's writing his comic books and doing incredible art with those and everything like that. That's where I think the future of the culture war needs to be, is being able to be nuanced when something good comes out and say, hey, this movie, whether or not it's from an independent studio or a mainstream studio, that was really good. And highlight the goods so that the goods endure, and add to the culture to replace what has been, or at least fill the void left by these great franchises. We need to support the culture into a better future instead of just being focused on tearing it down. If we just destroy all culture, like a lot of these people want to do, whether or not those are the rage grifters or those caught in PTSD loops, we're left with nothing. We need to cultivate a better future while clearing the weeds of what's the past infestations.
And before I ask Drayton a question, a Judas Goat barbecue for $20. Cancel culture took off the moment the corporate world started giving in with minimal complaints from the public. Remember Nike destroying a shoe line when Kaepernick said they were racist because it had Betsy Ross flag? I actually don't remember that. My first
Betsy
memories of
Ross?
my first memories of Kaepernick is taking the knee. That's my first memories of Kaepernick.
What's racist about the Betsy Ross flag?
I don't know.
Okay, now I got it's history time.
Here we go. Okay.
Well, yes. So first of all, Judas, thank you for the support, and he's absolutely correct. The Betsy Ross flag, the original, of course, is rumored that that Betsy Ross did not make the flag. She did not sew it.
True.
That she had slaves do it, which, to be honest, it was a very big flag, and more than likely, some white woman that was from very, very wealthy family did not stitch that joint. There's a very strong possibility there. So the Betsy Ross flag is a symbol of oppression for the Black community. It has been for many, many years. So when Nike was like, "Oh, we're gonna honor America," because it was like an anniversary. I don't remember what the anniversary thing was, but Nike was like, "Hey, we're gonna honor this flag." And Colin Kaepernick, who does not speak for the Black community, let me be as clear as I possibly can. I hate that guy. All right, I hate that half breed, and everybody keeps forgetting that he is, but he is.
Oh yeah,
he is. Yes, he has an afro, but he is a half breed. Everybody that knows. But he wants to speak up for the culture and like, Nike should be ashamed of themselves for this is oppression of the Black man. No. We don't care. We won't buy those Nikes. That's it. We got plenty of Jordans to buy. So it's like, bruh, but the fact that at that time period, and Judas is absolutely correct, that big swing was coming. Like, we don't want to upset the blacks and the who's and the hats and the who's and I'm like. And that's when the corporate folks started to bend the knee to everyone.
It's the cancel culture. It was the cancel
absolutely 100% correct. 100%
afraid. They thought they forgot who their customer base was.
Yes.
And that was the whole birth of the modern audience crap.
Yeah, and the idea that only Black people buy Nikes is absurd. It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, they're not Timberlakes.
So thank you, Judas, for $20. But now when Jed talks about benefit of the doubt and giving a chance and nuance, last summer, Dre, we were ready to give Superman 2025 a chance.
Yes.
We all were.
Absolutely.
And nothing about it openly said agenda.
That's correct.
Woke.
That's correct.
And when you got into it, though, it was packed with little things, but the reason it was bad is because James Gunn didn't understand the character.
Absolutely correct.
And that's where the nuance comes in, I think, right? Where you have to now understand a lot, and when a lot of people were reacting, screaming woke, 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 but when we broke it down, no, it wasn't bad because it was woke. It was bad because it was just bad.
Yeah,
and that's the problem now.
Yep, and that
more
is
than
the
one
problem.
cause for terrible writing.
Yes, and like in Jed, you mentioned it before, the PTSD of the woke attack invasion over the years has really gotten to the heads of people, and like things that they just don't like or things that don't come off well, they just say, "Oh, it's woke. That's why I don't like it." Like because now they cannot equate it with quality anymore, which once again is really sad because they have been mentally abused. And when you have a brain that's been mentally abused, you keep seeing the abuser everywhere. And like let's take Superman. I would not classify that film as woke at all. If you want to say there was something sprinkled here and there as far as like
sprinkled agenda in there, but
or something like that, then, I mean, that's gonna happen. But I wouldn't say that the root of this film was woke. I would say that this root of this film is just that it was trash. I think that's about it. And James Gunn is a hack. I think that's where the root of the badness of this film comes from.
But there were people making the whole argument that everything wrong with Superman was wokeness.
Yes, they were.
When that
They
just
were making that
dilutes the conversation. And that conversation is going to happen with Project Hail Mary when it comes out. For those who are not familiar with the book, the leader of the UN task force to deal with this world-ending threat is a bitchy Dutch woman. She is evil. She is fucked up. She is just a bitch. And the woke people, the anti-wokers, are just going to go, female in charge of the world? Yep, this was agenda. It's just reducing the argument to where no nuance can occur.
That is exactly why
but the thing is, it's their fault. That's the problem, Jay. Like, that's the only part that I would always push back on. Because if this was, man, I can't even, because no matter how far we think back now, we can still think like, oh, that woman's in charge because vagina. Or this guy's black and that's why he's in charge. Like because they always put somebody that was in charge that no one would believe would be in charge in certain situations. And that was their MO. So now when something is being introduced from yesteryear, like, let's just take something very, very simple that we can all, wrap our heads around. Benjamin Sisko. Okay. Benjamin Sisko may be one, and my personal opinion is my favorite commander / captain in all of Star Trek. He is. Not because he's black. Not at all. He could have been a white
badass.
Man. He is the GOAT. This man, not did he have to deal with a spaceship, he had to deal with an entire freaking hub. So he had Cardassians on his back foot, Q at his front door. All this crap is happening in a facility that he has to run, and he manages it like a straight up pimp. That is why everybody likes Benjamin Sisko. Now, let's fast forward a bit. Imagine if Benjamin Sisko made his debut now.
We question. You'd question.
Without question. We would be like, all
right,
why is he here?
To stay in that vein right there, we learned that Holly Hunter was going to be Captain Holly Hunter for Starfleet Academy. We had preconceived opinions, but within the first episode, Jed, all opinions were confirmed that she's terrible at her job. And
there were competing opinions on her going in. I did see some people say she's a legitimate actress. She might be the least offensive part of the show, or like Robert Picardo, he's an established actor, so at least he might be the least offensive. But yeah, once you saw her decisions, she is the worst part of the show, in my opinion. She's straight up evil, and
it's just bad writing.
It is so bad.
It's not
the actress's fault. They're acting like it is. Like the actress who played Janeway in Voyager has come out against the evil hate somebody coming against Holly Hunter.
Somebody tagged Mulgrew and said, "Hey Mulgrew, we're gonna give you some money. Go out and fight the fight now." So they rolled out Kate Mulgrew to push back against Starfleet Academy, and I saw that last night too. And that's ridiculous because guess what? Kate Mulgrew was good as Captain Janeway.
She was great.
Yes, she was.
Janeway may have been a disaster as a character in the end for what she did to the Delta Quadrant, but that's the story. That's not so much the character, the actor. That's the story. Her
but even as a captain, the way that she governed was like a woman.
Captain, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she did a fine job for him. Like, see, I like Voyager. I'm a fan of Voyager.
Yeah, I tolerate Voyager.
And I know. I like Voyager. I like Voyager a lot because it's still grounded in realism. A woman would make the emotional decision instead of the logical one. And the emotional decision she made set her crew back thousands of light years away. It makes sense to me. But if Captain Janeway debuted today, everyone's going to put their radar up. And it's not her fault. The joke can work out the exact same way. Imagine just Voyager just happened today, the exact same episodes, everything worked the exact same way. The moment that she debuted today, everyone's gonna raise an eyebrow. Because now we're conditioned to being like, oh, here we go. Here comes another woman. I don't want to feel like that, but they earned it.
And they keep earning it when they talk. There was a Sophie Turner, who's going to be our new Lara Croft very soon, came out and said Lara Croft is not a sex symbol. She just said that.
That's terrible.
She's not going to do a sexy Lara Croft.
Lara Croft TV.
Laura Croft with her pointy digital boobies has been a sex symbol since she was created.
That is correct.
It was instant. It was instant. And this is the point, though, just to circle it back. Holly Hunter's character in Starfleet Academy is terrible. Not because she is agenda. She's just a badly written character. Now, there's plenty of agenda in the show. Aside from it, that show is packed with political agenda, race agenda, all kinds of alphabet mafia agenda. It's all in there. But her character is just terribly written. And she's doing a shit performance. Nuance, as Jed said. Nuance. It's not just this whole thing is bad because it's woke. No, it's bad for a lot of different reasons. Let me count the ways. And that's how in 2026, from part of 2025, because we were doing this in 2025 as well, but now we're 2026, it's time to approach this culture war with nuance. I think that's the best way to put it. It is the people with a PTSD, and we're talking the real PTSD, not the grifters. They need to take a step back and they need to figure out how they're going to approach this shit. You need to stop having instant reactions.
Yeah.
You need to
and if you want to just support independent media, being like, all right, I'm done with Hollywood, support independent media, that's still fine too. Just add to the culture, support what's good. Otherwise, we have nothing. It all crumbles. Without culture, without supporting the good culture, there's no culture. And we need culture.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. So it's time there needs to be a different approach. And there needs to be not instant anger and rage. There needs to be appropriate righteous fury when it's ready. Otherwise, Jed, objectivity needs to return. People need,
and that's everybody needs that. Because there are still the stands out there. There's still people pushing for all this nonsense. That's not going to change. And objectivity in every discussion out there is being lost.
Yeah.
Behind one type of emotionalism or another.
Exactly. Objectivity remains objectivity, nuance, and just careful. Take your time. The grifters are going to rush in every time. And the grifters on our side are part of the problem because they muddy the water of discussion. They say crazy shit. Best example from last year is the Ghost of Yote discussion. They muddied those waters so bad when real numbers came out, no one would listen to a discussion. Because they looked like idiots because they shot off facts and numbers that didn't exist, and then the real numbers came out, which weren't great, but because they used wrong data, fake data, that people supporting Yote threw it back in everybody's faces, and there was no way to fight back because idiots who have no business leading a charge, Leroy Jenkins'd everything and fucked it all up. So I hope people listen to this conversation. I hope they take it to heart. The war is not done. The culture war continues. It's just changed. Like Dre said, the venue has changed. We haven't won anything. We simply now have to look at it differently, have to approach it differently. And I believe in just taking your time. Does that sometimes mean you miss an immediate part of the news cycle? Maybe. But I've always believed it's better to get it right than to rush out and get it wrong. Take your time and get it right than rush it out and get it wrong. And that's why I just urge caution. I urge caution. I urge nuance. I urge objectivity. Now, I don't think anybody's going to watch us. I mean, I'm not watching. I don't think anyone's going to particularly listen to what I'm saying. People are going to do what they're going to do. But I hope that my voice reaches people that could maybe influence things. Because here we are. We are not a large show. My channel is the large side of the three of us. I do not have a lot of reach. But maybe somebody can just hear it and say, you know what, the guy's talking sense. Maybe we need to not behave like lunatics anymore and ratchet back to PTSD. And you know what starts with that? Getting off X. I'm still there, but I've learned restraint in the past few months. One, because at times I've been sick, literally sick and tired, and I don't have the energy to engage. But also, you don't have to react to every single thing you see. You don't have to comment on every little thing you see. Pick your moments, pick your comments, but don't be them. Don't be terminally online.
Make sure you're talking about something you know about as well. Like you were talking about Ghost of Yote just giving the wrong information. Well, the one that's been bothering me a lot is people saying that Ciri should never be a main character in any Witcher content. It's clear you didn't read the books. There is arguments for, I like Geralt, that's who I want to play as, that's fine. But making blanket statements representative of the entire franchise like that just are factually inaccurate.
And those are the grifters. Those are the grifters who don't have who are not actual fans of anything. These things they claim to love, they don't have the time. They don't have the hours, the dedication that we do. And that's why it's rough. And listen, the grifters get traction because you know what it is in the end also? It's playing on people's rage, playing on people's anger. And
it's predatory.
We needed that. Yeah, it is. But you know what? The problem is we needed that anger in the beginning because the anger is what galvanized everybody to get out there and to speak up. But now it's time for rational anger, righteous anger, pointed appropriately, not just berserker rage. We don't need that anymore because now this has become this isn't full-scale war on the front lines anymore. Now it's a little bit of guerrilla warfare. There's pocket engagements because the opposition, the commie Marxists, the agenda-driven assholes, they're in retreat. But here's something to the early part of the conversation. They're going to adapt like they always do. They will change it. They will come out with a new set of vocabulary. They will appropriate and adopt other terminology that doesn't mean anything, but they'll take it and turn it, make it their own, and then they'll come back and they'll bamboozle people again. And it'll sound good to some people, but then it won't actually be good. It'll be still the same ideology-driven crap underneath the surface. And you have to understand that's what they do. They are chameleons. They are reptiles. They are insects. They're vermin. They will always scurry into the shadows. They will indoctrinate more people, and then they'll come back out, and they will do it all over again. That's why vigilance is necessary. That's why we keep doing this. That's why we keep doing the reviews, keep talking about this stuff, because we need to continue to talk about it. But our side that has gained some good victories in the past 2 years needs to not rest on their laurels, needs to not relax, but also needs to now be careful. And also realize that, some people you may have called allies are not your allies, are not your friends. They were never in it because they gave a damn. They were in it for themselves, like we said. And that's that. And you got to be careful. And we're not perfect. We are not perfect. I get things wrong all the time. Sometimes I am not informed and I might make a statement, and that's where I get corrected. But the thing is, we all admit when we were wrong.
Oh, yeah.
There's no shame in admitting you got something wrong. There's no shame in admitting that, I shouldn't have talked about this. A month ago, I said I shouldn't cover Fallout because I can't really talk about it. It was a mistake for me to try and cover season 2. Now, fortunately, no one gave a shit about Fallout, so it's not like I lost anything in terms of content creation. But still, I had to say, not my thing. I was wrong for getting involved because I cannot speak to New Vegas content. I cannot. It's okay to not, like Jed, you said before, cover the shit you know. I stick to Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, other types of games, other franchises. I happen to know a lot, so I can wade into a lot of things, either with dangerous knowledge or adept knowledge. But still, I pick what I know. You're not going to see me running out there really talking Game of Thrones because I don't know Game of Thrones. I'll criticize Germ all day for what he's done to the industry, which is fair. But I'm not going to criticize the hard nitty-gritty details of the storytelling on that because I didn't read much of it. I didn't watch much of it because I didn't think very much of it when I did look at it. But after that, I'll just say, enjoy it, but he's going to screw you over again because that's what he does. But you stay with what you know. It's that simple. And I think that's also the key in 2026. Don't talk about shit you don't know. Don't steal it. Don't steal the auction from somebody else who might give a better take than you. Yeah, you might lose some money, but you know what? Maybe you'll get some integrity if you don't talk about shit you don't know. I've said all I think I could say in that without getting into trouble. So, because I'm borderline going to say things that might get me in trouble. So, you guys have any final thoughts on that before we wrap it up? Anything? We're good.
No, you covered it.
I'm all set.
Yeah.
Then we're done. A little over time, but that's what we get with the discussion topics because that's what I want to do, discuss things. Anyway, all right, let's say our farewells. Jed, bye-bye.
Yes, everyone can find me Endless Frontiers on YouTube. My streams tomorrow will all be rearranged a little bit. Rider Flight will most likely be on Tuesday in the late afternoon around 4 o'clock. Don't know exactly when, but I'll keep you guys all apprised. And Jump Space might be pushed back to later or something else. We'll figure it out. I'll keep you all, of course, posted on that. Then Starfleet Academy this Thursday with a review stream this Saturday. Of course, right back here for Roundtable next week.
Okay. Jerry, thanks for showing up.
I did still show despite the stupidity in the air. So this past week, definitely just dropped a new interview with actually not a new creator, a former creator I've had on the show before. Definitely check out the Brew Playing Comics YouTube channel. Really great interview. My man Nemesis, really great creator. A lot of great things he's cooking up. Definitely check that out. There was another video that I had dropped, but it ended up being blocked, so I have to go back and look into that because Amazon's on lockdown now. So
what was it on?
The Spider Noir.
Yeah, it's Sony. Sony's claiming people for it's a Sony claim. Yeah, people are getting claimed for the trailer. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, I wish I could have warned you about that one.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, man, I didn't put too much work in this video.
a lot of people got hit with that one.
Yeah, which is I never understood. You don't like free publicity? I don't get people, man. I don't understand people.
These corpos,
it's promotional material. They should let it out for free.
Yes, which I got to give Disney a lot of credit for. They're like, yo, please talk about it. Yeah. Anyway, but so yeah, definitely check out all the other stuff I got going on the Brutal Playing Comics YouTube channel. Check that out, and of course, check out my website bpcomics.io. Hopefully this spring, my hiatus will be over, and we will be back in production mode for Trouble Rise of the Children. So this should be really good stuff coming down the pipeline. Chapter 1 is in the books, and hopefully we'll be able to start working on chapter 2 this spring. Really hoping we get things back rolling. So definitely be up on the site to get any updates that will be coming down that pipeline. And also you can also follow me on X Twitter at DeBrute00.
As for me, I have regained most of my health after taking the week off just to try and kick this bug once and for all that's been hounding me since November. Pretty much back. So we'll be back to normal this week, Monday through Friday, daily dive, 1 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, Jed, I still haven't chosen a movie for this weekend. I will try and get one chosen by tomorrow. I tried thinking and I just couldn't. Nothing jumped out of me. So I need to. You know how it is. You want that thing that's like, yes, this is what I feel like will be in the right moment. So give me another day on that. We'll see how the week goes on everything else. As Jed said, we got Starfleet Academy at the end of the week, and then the panel where no one wants to go reviews next Saturday, and we will have Dermy karaoke on Ballbusters this week. Dre, guess what the theme is? Just throw a guess out there. Well, what am I making Dermy sing for Dermy karaoke? Just throw out a guess.
You won't guess it, yeah.
Jed knows what it is. He was there last night when I told Dermy what it's going to be.
The Legend of Zelda?
No. Taylor Swift songs.
Oh, that's horrible.
He's going to sing them to you, Adam.
That's horrible, bro.
Well, either way, it's going to be funny. He's going to hate every second of it.
Oh, no, have him sing a Bad Bunny. Have him do Bad Bunny.
Yeah, he can't even speak English, right? He's not going to speak garbage Spanish.
What a disastrous halftime show that was.
Yeah, we are not going to talk about that because Jed's already getting yelled at. We got to leave because Jed's getting yelled at right now. But yeah, we're not getting into that. But yeah, so Dermy karaoke next Friday on Ballbusters will be Taylor Swift songs. So those who want to make Dermy sing Taylor Swift, start thinking about your favorite choices. We usually get about 4 songs in on the stream. Other than that, thank you everybody for joining us this week. We hope you had a good time. Please hit that like button. Links are in the description below for subscriptions. And we'll see you guys next week. Until then, take it easy, everybody.